elevated level. Talking about industrial, I think industrial has been on an expansionary mode in 2025. So our estimated numbers for 2025, I think we feel it should easily close somewhere between 30 and 40 million square feet. And so what is driving? Obviously, 3PL is driving, e-commerce is driving, engineering, manufacturing is driving. Other important factors for 2026 would be, I think this momentum is going to continue. So the future and as well as what we expect for industrial this year is quite upbeat.
What will the fractional investment segment in the residential market look like in 2026?
This is an interesting question because fractional ownership has received a much more regulatory push as well as the regulatory phase, I would say. So estimated numbers talk about easily 5 to 10 billion of investment in varied forms in unorganized fractional ownership platforms. So this also presents immense scope for this fragmented market to be regularized in the coming future. In terms of housing, we feel there's a lot of interest in luxury housing, in villas, in second homes, in vacation homes, all in all premium housing. We are also seeing active interest from NRIs as well as HNI community in this segment. So in terms of overall market, I feel it's going to be an interesting year wherein I think there will be a lot of regularization happening in terms of more fractional ownership platforms getting more facelift.
Is it better to invest in REITs or a real estate mutual fund? What is the difference between them, especially for the working middle class? Is this an important asset allocation product in the wealth management space?
I think difficult to answer in terms of a point blank thing, but I think our understanding so far is REIT is still at a very nascent stage. We have about 5 REITs, and I think an annualized return, if we talk about, which includes dividend distribution yield plus appreciation one, somewhere ranges between 10 to 15% or so, and could be on the higher side in select cases. In terms of mutual funds, it is again, so mutual funds varies in terms of what type of mutual fund it is, whether it is equity, whether it is debt oriented. But I think an average could be similar, somewhere around. It can be lower at 10-11%. I'm talking about a very average annually return over the last few years. And it can be as high as 15 to 20% also. But I think here the difference depends upon what type of the investor is and his factors like what asset is he looking at, what is the time horizon. In the current ongoing real estate investment cycle, I think REIT is, of course, a good option. But as I said, it depends what type of investor, risk appetite, time horizon, and the asset class which he is looking at.
Thank you, Vimal, once again for your insightful answers. And I'm sure 2026 again is going to be a great year for not just the home buyers, but also for investors in the real estate space.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. That's all from us on this week's episode. We'll see you next week with more news and updates on real estate only on Republic TV. Stay tuned, stay informed. Goodbye.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप। थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ, है अरे मेरे राजा
In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't stopped it. No, he debanked me. So we'll see if that beats anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanking. Get debanked if you don't have money or if you fall to have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County State Court, centers on a controversial practice known as debanking. The president alleges that the bank has systematically denied services to him and his associated businesses, not because of financial risk, but due to political bias. This isn't just a dispute over a checking account. This is a high-stakes legal battle that accuses the largest bank in the United States of trade libel, bad faith, and violating state consumer protection laws. The core of the complaint is that J.P. Morgan Chase violated Florida's deceptive trade practices law. The legal team for the president argues that Florida law explicitly prohibits financial institutions from terminating accounts or denying services based on a person's political opinions, speech, or affiliations. According to the complaint reviewed by Bloomberg, Trump's lawyers state that, quote, debanking is a matter of public interest and significant importance to all consumers and businesses in the United States of America. They argue that J.P. Morgan Chase, given its history and size, is a central actor in what they call a troubling saga. This lawsuit frames this not just as a personal grievance, but as part of a broader campaign against the weaponization of the banking sector. The allegation is that financial institutions are acting as ideological gatekeepers, cutting off access to capital for those who don't.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with us. You are watching the Saturday edition of 6 Stories at 6 with me, Oyana Mitra. Over the next half an hour, I will take you through those 6 stories that have dominated the headlines today. So here we go. Up first, an explosion has ripped through the freight corridor in Punjab's Sirhind, with authorities now probing a possible sabotage angle. What's really going on, we'll tell you. Second, vehicles burnt, stones pelted and rampant arson violence. Who stoked unrest in Madhya Pradesh's Ujjain? We'll get you a ground update from the spot. Third, fresh video evidence has emerged in the death investigation of techie Yuvraj Mehta, and we at Republic reiterate that given the extent of negligence in this case, progress for the people is the need of the hour. Then we take you to Jammu and Kashmir, viewers, where counter-terror operations are extensively underway to dismantle the Jaish-e-Mohammed network. Next, an exclusive insight from our Jawans on what to expect from the Republic Day parade, with this being the first one post-Operation Sindoor. And finally, Iran's ultimatum to Donald Trump and how we may be staring at a full-blown war-like situation sooner than later. With that, let's get started. All right, viewers, on to our first story of the day. An explosion on a railway line in Punjab's Fatehgarh Sahib has triggered panic and a security alert. The blast damaged a freight train engine near Sirhind, injuring the driver and blowing apart a section of the track. The police and railway officials have now cordoned off the area and launched a joint probe as restoration work gets underway. Is there a larger conspiracy to sabotage the network ahead of Republic Day? Take a look.
An explosion has been reported on a late Friday night on a railway line in Sirhind, Fatehgarh Sahib in Punjab. Consequently, a freight train engine was damaged and the driver was injured.
The railway track has been damaged, and this is the rod of cement which can also be seen shattered after the blast. If you talk about the agencies in this, these central agencies have stepped in, which includes the NIA and the local police and the railway police force, who are investigating this matter. Luckily, no one has been killed in this blast, while no major property loss has been reported. Till now, if you talk about the investigation, the forensic teams have already collected the samples, and scientifically they are further investigating this whole matter. From the past 1.5 months, there has been number of threat calls which have been received all across Punjab.
Panic gripped the area after the blast, prompting immediate action on part of railway authorities and senior police, who swiftly reached the site, cordoned off the area and launched a joint investigation.
कल हमें लेट नाइट इन्फॉर्मेशन आई थी कि ये रेलवे ट्रैक के ऊपर एक छोटा सा ब्लास्ट हुआ है, माइनर ब्लास्ट हुआ है। तो उसके इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलने के बाद यहाँ पे हमारी टीम, जीआरपी की टीम, आरपीएफ की और काफ़ी और टीमें और डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स की टीम यहाँ पहुँच गई थी। तो यहाँ आके जो प्रिलिमिनरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन हुई है, उसमें यही निकल कर आया है कि एक बहुत छोटा सा माइनर ब्लास्ट हुआ है और उसमें ना कोई प्रॉपर्टी को नुकसान हुआ है, ना कोई जानी नुकसान हुआ है उसमें। और जो माइनर जो ट्रैक को नुकसान हुआ था, उसको भी बहुत जल्दी उसको रिपेयर कर लिया गया और अब जो रेलवे ट्रैक है वो फुली फंक्शनल हो चुका है।
All of this as Punjab is currently on red alert as a precautionary measure ahead of the Republic Day. In the past week itself, police have interrupted several terror operations, seized arms and explosives, and increased monitoring.
Now, following violent clashes in Madhya Pradesh's Ujjain, where VHP leader was attacked, the Tarana police station area was gripped by fresh unrest last night as a series of arson attacks broke out after renewed local tensions. Now, unidentified vandals targeted private property under the cover of darkness, most notably at a timber yard where attackers used petrol to ignite a massive blaze. Now, this horrific fire gutted the entire facility, while nearby 2 vehicles parked in vicinity of the Qila Mosque also torched, adding to the night's chaos. Who stoked the violence? Who tried to incite anarchy? Here's more.
Sporadic incidents of arson were reported last night in the Tarana police station area following the renewed communal tensions. The attack was reportedly carried out by some unidentified vandals.
मैं इस समय तराना के नई बाखल जो इलाका है जहां पर कि पथराव हुआ, तोड़फोड़ हुई, वहीं पर हूं और मैं आपको ग्राउंड जीरो पर दिखाऊंगा कि किस तरह से हिंसा हुई।
These unidentified individuals targeted private property under the cover of darkness and set ablaze a timber yard using petrol. The owner of the destroyed timber yard, Mohammad Anif, recounted a harrowing scene. According to CCTV visuals, emergency services responded swiftly, with the fire brigade arriving on site. The arson incident occurred following the violent clashes in Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain, where VHP leader was attacked. 11 buses were vandalized on Thursday evening. Tensions flared in Tarana town of Madhya Pradesh Ujjain district after a minor dispute over yielding the road escalated into violent clashes involving two communities. The investigation into the case is underway and the police has so far detained 18 people.
Now on to a story, viewers, that we have been tracking for the last 1 week. A young life lost and serious questions remain unanswered. New eyewitness videos have now emerged in the death of Noida Techie Yuvraj Mehta, renewing the theory of negligence and a complete cover-up. Despite police, ambulance and fire teams being present at the spot, Yuvraj Mehta was left struggling for his life. He pleaded, he screamed, he shouted for help, but to no avail. Why did the rescue fail and who is responsible? Republic now brings you the eyewitness account that only intensifies the hashtag Progress for People campaign.
Progress for the People, a people's campaign that we hope will bring justice to Noida Techie Yuvraj Mehta. A week after his demise, more videos have emerged that reconfirm a massive cover-up. A 1-minute 44-second video has emerged which shows the negligence of rescue teams.
प्रशासन और ये सब लोग, एम्बुलेंस है लेकिन पुलिस है और सब है, ये अभी तक देखो मतलब वो लड़का जो है डूब चुका है, हमारी आंखों के सामने तड़प तड़प के वो डूबा है, लेकिन ये उसको बचा नहीं पाए। लगभग 11:45 11:50 का टाइम होगा तब वो गाड़ी कूदी थी और मैं यहाँ पे पहुँचा 12 बजे, तो तब तक यहाँ पे पुलिस की गाड़ी थी। बस मैं आया तो देखो ये प्रशासन और सब प्रशासन है यहाँ पर अपनी फॉर्मेलिटी पूरे कर रहे हैं देव पर। अब ये वो डूब चुका है, हमारे दोस्त है एक मौनी, वो हमें पता नहीं था क्या है क्या नहीं है, तो हमें पता नहीं था कि उसको तैरना आता है, बट वो कूदा गया तैरने लेकिन उसे मिला नहीं, वो डूब चुका था, हमारे सामने वो डूब चुका था, वो तड़प तड़प के डूबा, उसने दम तोड़ा। उससे पहले लाइट दिखा रहा था, खड़ा था, हमारे करीब था बहुत, लेकिन ये कोई उसे बचा नहीं पाया। देखो भाई ये ज़िंदगी है, इसे थोड़ा संभल के, ये बहुत अनमोल है। आज मैंने देखा कि उसकी जान मेरी आंखों के सामने कैसे गई। कुछ नहीं है जान जाने में, ज़माना सिर्फ बातें बनाता है एक बहाने में।
The young man said that despite having resources, the Noida Techie's life could not be saved. In the video, the young man alleged that the police, ambulance and fire personnel were present at the scene, yet the young man drowned right in front of them, struggling for his life. So the question now is unavoidable. How did a young man drown to death despite police, ambulance and the fire teams being present on the spot? Where did the rescue fail and who will be taking responsibility? Republic has been tracking this case from day one, confronting everyone, amplifying the voice of the people, and we will continue to demand accountability until justice is delivered for Yuvraj.
Now on to Jammu and Kashmir, viewers. In continuation of the anti-terror operations in the valley, steel core bullets were recovered from slain Pakistani terror commander Usman, who's the top Jaish-e-Mohammed operative in Kathua. Now, this comes even as another operation is unfolding in the Kishtwar district, codenamed Trashi-I. The operation was launched last Sunday following specific intelligence about a terror hideout in the dense forests of the Sonar and Singhpora areas of the Chatru belt. More in this report.
A major anti-terror operation is underway at Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district, where security forces locked in fierce clashes with suspected Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists deep inside dense forests. The operation, codenamed Trashi-I, and today a chilling recovery. 5.56 mm steel core bullets, designed to pierce through bulletproof jackets of security forces, and are typically used with US-made M4 rifles. The Indian Army recovered these bullets from the killed Pakistani terror commander Usman. This JEM terrorist, who was neutralized with the security force after a 10-minute-long operation. The ammunition recovered underscores the lethal intent of terrorists being hunted in Jammu's forest belts. Usman was killed in a joint operation with the Jammu and Kashmir Police, Indian Army and Central Reserve Police Force in the Bilawar area of Kathua. For over 20 days, security forces tracked his movement, finally cornering and eliminating him just ahead of Republic Day. In another anti-terror crackdown, security forces destroyed a terror dhok, a temporary forest shelter used by Jaish terrorists to hide, rest and evade surveillance. Forces uncovered a fortified bunker, stocked with food supplies, LPG cylinders and essentials, clearly indicating plans for a long-duration stay. Launched last Sunday, the Operation Trashi-I targeted Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists hiding into deep forest areas following precise intelligence inputs. On the first day of the mission, joint teams of security forces walked into a heavy-graded automatic fire from 2 or 3 terrorists. 8 soldiers were injured in the exchange. Special Forces Havildar Gajendra Singh later succumbed to his injuries, laying down his life in the line of duty. From Kathua to Kishtwar, from steel core bullets to destroyed forest hideouts, Operation Trashi-I is far from over. With Republic Day around the corner, India's security forces remain on high alert, determined to wipe out every last terror threat.
Elimination of top Jaish-e-Mohammed commander Usman comes as a big success for the security forces, as he was active in the area for more than 4 years. He infiltrated from Pakistan after getting specialized jungle warfare training and was giving a tough time to the security forces, as he was involved in more than half a dozen terror attacks ranging from the Noida district to Udhampur to Kathua district. But after getting the specific intel information, security forces jointly swung into the action. Operation was launched, and in a 10-minute swift operation, the forces were able to bring down one of the deadliest commanders of Jaish-e-Mohammed in Jammu and Kashmir. He is believed to have infiltrated using the Samba-Kathua international border route way back in 2021-22, and since then he was one of the biggest of the Tanzim in Jammu and Kashmir. But after this operation that lasted for more than 20 days but was executed in just 10 minutes has led to this big success to the security forces.
Okay, viewers, from high altitude warfare units and mounted cavalry in full combat gear to unmanned ground vehicles, drone warfare and advanced missile systems, this year's Republic Day parade reflects a force that is modern, indigenous and operationally ready. With this being the first Republic Day parade post-Operation Sindoor, our team went on ground in Jaipur and spoke to the officers behind these formidable weapons to understand what it takes to operate them and what they signal about India's defense posture.
Being the first Republic Day parade after Operation Sindoor and ahead of the celebrations and parade, Republic TV spoke to the contingent officers leading the show. First, we spoke to Captain Harshita, who is the contingent commander of the Remount Veterinary Corps. She explained that animals who participate in battlefield will mark their debut.
This time the Remount Veterinary Corps contingent is very uniquely curated. We are having 2 Bactrian camels from Ladakh, 4 Zanskari ponies, 4 raptors, and then we have army dogs that are taking part in the contingent. Amongst the army dogs, we are using 5 types of indigenous breed.
Lieutenant Amit Chaudhary, leading the mixed scouts contingent during Republic Day, says scouts are recruited from the local area, which give the armed forces a ground advantage.
Scouts is basically based on the concept of sons of the soil, where recruitment is done from the local area, because the local troops are well versed with the area and with the weather conditions as well. Scouts is majorly deployed in high altitude, and they have exceptional mountaineering skills, whether it be navigating through vertical rock faces, and they have a high endurance in such high altitude areas as well.
This is Ahan Kumar, the contingent commander of the 61st Cavalry. They will be showcased in full combat uniform.
Since the theme of the parade, we have to showcase the battle array formation, and cavalry, which has an operational role of surveillance in cross-country terrain where vehicles cannot enter, and it is difficult for the soldier on foot to travel for long-range patrols. That's where horses are used, and we are showcasing our combat role in the parade.
Captain Vikas Yadav, who is the contingent commander of the 1 Gorkha Rifles, also spoke to us regarding the types of vehicles that will be showcased.
As part of infantry contingent, we are showcasing unmanned ground vehicle. This is the first time we are showcasing on Republic Day parade, and under Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are inducting these vehicles into army.
Drones have played a vital role in Operation Sindoor, and Captain D. Mukherjee, who is the contingent commander of Drone Shakti, spoke to us about the importance of drones.
Drones have become vital components of multi-domain warfare and help us achieve operational success in the modern battlefield. So, Project Drone Shakti, it symbolizes the Indian Army's integrated framework for the sustenance and development of drones in the forward areas itself.
India has always been ahead when it comes to missiles, from BrahMos, the world's fastest cruising missile, to the Nag missile systems. We spoke to Lieutenant Shashank Sharma, the contingent commander of Nag missile system, who explains about this robust missile system and what to expect in the parade.
Nag missile system is developed by DRDO, and this time we have got the Nag missile Mark II. And this time we have got 4 launchers along with 30mm gun and 7.62 PKT.
With such firepower in store, we can only expect the best out of this year's Republic Day and the firepower of the Indian Armed Forces.
And finally, viewers, on to our big international headline of the day. Iran has warned the United States that any military strike would be treated as an all-out war as the American military build-up intensifies across the Middle East. The warning came as US warships and strategic assets moved closer to the region. Tehran has said that there would be no distinction between limited or full-scale attacks and warned that its sovereignty and interests would be defended at any cost. The latest on the standoff.
Death toll in Iran's crackdown on protesters has crossed 5,000. And Donald Trump is raising the stakes amid the chaos. After returning from World Economic Forum meet, Trump dropped a bombshell. He said an American armada is heading towards the Middle East. US officials say aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln and several guided missile destroyers will arrive in Middle East in coming days.
We have a big force going toward Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely. I stopped 837 hangings on Thursday. They would have been dead. Every one of them would have been hung. This is like from 1,000 years ago. This is an ancient culture. Very smart people, by the way, but it's an ancient culture. 837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it. They canceled it. So that was a good sign. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction. And maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
Trump's warning has irked Iran. A senior Iranian official said that country will treat any attack as an all-out war against us, and we will respond in the hardest way possible. Reports suggest additional air defense systems are being deployed around US and Israeli air bases. UK, at Doha's request, would also send RAF Eurofighter Typhoon jets from 12th Squadron to Qatar. This is not the first ever threat by Donald Trump. About 2 weeks ago, the situation was volatile. Trump had said Iranians should keep up the demonstrations and help is on its way. At the time, Trump was told that Iran had stopped the executions of arrested protesters. But if Trump does decide to launch an attack on Iran, another war front will be opened in the already conflict-ridden Middle East.
And on that note, viewers, we end this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Thanks so much for watching.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा और प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो, मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला।
In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't stopped it. No, he debanked me. So we'll see if that beats anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanked. Get debanked if you don't have money or if you fall to have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County State Court, centers on a controversial practice known as debanking. The president alleges that the bank has systematically denied services to him and his associated businesses, not because of financial risk, but due to political bias. This isn't just a dispute over a checking account. This is a
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, राजा और प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't gone. No, he debanked to me. So we'll see if that beeps anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanking. Get debanked if you don't have money or if you fall to have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County State Court, centers on a controversial practice known as debanking. The president alleges that the bank has systematically denied services to him and his associated businesses, not because of financial risk, but due to political bias. This isn't just a dispute over a checking account. This is a high-stakes legal battle that accuses the largest bank in the United States of trade libel, bad faith, and violating state consumer protection laws. The core of the complaint is that J.P. Morgan Chase violated Florida's deceptive trade practices law. The legal team for the president argues that Florida law explicitly prohibits financial institutions from
They call Arunachal the land of rising sun. But for me, the day begins in the dark. It begins with the cold air in my lungs and the rhythmic pulse of my heart against the quiet of the dawn. People think being a prodigy is a gift. It isn't. It's a relentless daily sacrifice. Wushu is my language. When I step onto that mat, I'm no longer just a girl from a small town. I'm a warrior. I'm physical poetry when it returned in sweat and iron. Every lunge, every jump, every strike is a conversation between my soul and the world. It's a discipline that demands your everything and then asks for more. वुशु बेसिकली एक चाइनीज स्पोर्ट्स चाइनीज से ओरिजिन करता है ये इसका ओरिजिन चाइना है ये मार्शल आर्ट्स काइंड ऑफ मार्शल आर्ट्स है वैसे तो ओरिजिनल तो कुंफू कहते हैं पर गेम में लाने के लिए इनको वुशु करके नाम रखा गया वुशु दो पार्ट में डिवाइड है एक सांडा कहते हैं और वो कॉन्टेक्ट फाइट रहता है एंड देन दूसरा तावलू कहते हैं जो मैं करती हूँ वो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन हुआ हमें इवेंट वगैरह करके दिखाना होता है कारपेट में हम परफॉर्म करते हैं
In the high altitude silence of Itanagar, Mepung Lamgu is busy measuring the road with her breath and her unyielding grit. These morning miles are the foundation. In the quiet of the dawn, she finds her center. Every stride is a reminder of her journey from the small town of Seppa. Away from the flashing lights and cheering crowds, the foundation of a champion is laid here in the shadows of the Himalayas. The transition from the park to the academy is a shift from nature to the lethal. The soft rhythm of the run is about to be replaced by the explosive power of the arena.
मैंने अपना स्पोर्ट्स जर्नी एक्चुअल में शुरू किए थे जो हमारा स्टेट में अरुणाचल प्रदेश में एक स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी है लोता एकेडमी है यहाँ में जो एक ही है गवर्नमेंट का थ्रू से होता है ये स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी करके इसमें आपको पढ़ाई भी होता है एंड देन स्पोर्ट्स भी खेल सकते हैं आप तो यहाँ का इंटरव्यू हुआ था यहाँ में हम अरुणाचल के सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट से हमें इंटरव्यू का नॉर्म से कि 2 बॉयज़ एंड 1 गर्ल को सिलेक्ट किया जाता है हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से तो मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया मेरा अराउंड नवंबर 2013 के समथिंग में उसके बाद मैं पास हो गई मुझे मिल गया यहाँ आने को मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड थी क्योंकि मैं बचपन से स्पोर्टिंग में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था भले ही मैं इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं था मैं कोशिश किया स्पोर्ट्स मीट में स्कूल में करा है पर कभी मेडल नहीं आया पर मेरे को था कि मेरे को खेलना है ये था मेरा तो
हमको एक बार बोला था कि पापा मैं कराटे खेलना चाहता है बोलते हैं नहीं बेटी तुमको तो मारेगा वो लोग जो है तो तुम क्या करेगा तो मैंने ऐसे बोला तो मैंने अच्छा से ध्यान से पढ़ाई करो कराटे में मैं भी पहले खेल के आया पापा भी तो बहुत मारपीट होता है तो बेटी ने बोला वो हमको मारेगा तो मैं भी मारेगा ना यही हमको रिप्लाई दिया तो मैं सोचा है तो ये थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट है
मेरे को वैसे फर्स्ट मैं खेला था कराटे चौथा में एंड देन यहाँ जब आया संगलानी स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी में तो मेरे को जूडो खेलने का बहुत पसंद था तो हमें क्या होता है एक दिन दिया जाता है सब गेम को हमें एग्जामाइन देखना है पसंद आया तो खेलना है ऐसे तो मैं हर सब जगह गया तो मेरे को ताकि जूडो खेलना है मेरे को एंड देन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स ये कि जब हम पहली बार यहाँ आए थे हम पहला बैच है वुशु का तो वुशु भी अरुणाचल में फर्स्ट टाइम आया था इधर ये स्कूल में पहली बार वुशु का इंक्लूड हुआ था गेम जो तो कोच भी हमारा नया ही था इधर तो कोई स्टूडेंट नहीं था दिखाने की डेमो, जो जूडो का हो तो वो हमें दिखा रही होता है जूडो, एंड देन वुशु का कोई नहीं था। तो हमारा जो कोच है, जो मेरा प्रेजेंट कोच है अभी, उन्होंने हमें लैपटॉप में दिखाया वुशु क्या होता है एक्चुअली। तो बहुत फैसिनेटिंग था वो, इसी सुंदर कपड़ा पहनते हैं एंड देन फाइटिंग वाला जो भी इतना अलग लगा है बाकी गेम से। हाँ वैसे तो हम पता है ताइक्वांडो, बैडमिंटन ये सब पता है, पर ये बहुत डिफरेंट लगा, मतलब कुछ अजीब ही था, जम मार रहे वो लोग, कुछ बहुत यूनिक लगा है। तो बहुत मन किया इधर घुसने का। तो मैं सोच लिया कितनी कि मैं वुशु घुसूँगा, क्योंकि नया भी है और कुछ नया भी करना है। वही था, जब हमारा दिन आया चुनने का तो हम वुशु गए थे। सर हमारा चेक किया कि कौन कौन सा ठीक है ना नहीं है, इन सब देखते हैं। तो फिर मुझे वुशु में सेलेक्ट किया। उसके बाद मेरा 2014 से ऑफिशियली मेरा वुशु जर्नी स्टार्ट हुआ।
परिवार में हम लोग बहुत आर्गू हो गया, बहुत मैंने तू में झगड़ा भी हो गया, एक दूसरा को कुछ 2 दिन जैसे बात भी नहीं किया इसका कारण से। तो मैं पूरा जिद हो रहा था, आपको हम पढ़ाना है बोलते। तो ये मैच में बहुत अच्छा था, इंजीनियरिंग वगैरह में हम लेके जाएगा ऐसे सोचा था। लेकिन बेटा और मेरा ये क्या बोलता है बेटी का ये जुआई लोग जो है, तो कोई जानने वाला लोग हमको बहुत मैंने काउंसलिंग किया। ये जो स्पोर्ट्स भी एक तो वो है क्या बोलता है एक डिग्री है ना, इसको भी मैंने सिर्फ पढ़ाई में नहीं होता है, स्पोर्ट्स भी आपका नाम कमा सकता है और दुनिया को मैंने बता सकता है। स्पोर्ट्स भी ऐसे ऐसे रास्ता है, ऐसे बोल के हमको काउंसलिंग किया। तब मैं सोचा है हाँ सचमुच का, क्योंकि बच्चा को अच्छा से पढ़ाना होता तो छोटा से क्लास 5-6 से अच्छा स्कूल में दाखिल करके उसको बेसिक लेके चलना चाहिए था। मैं ऐसे नहीं किया, उसको आधा स्पोर्ट्स में करने दिया, आधा पढ़ाई करने दिया। तो मैं भी सोचा उसको मेकअप करने में थोड़ा तकलीफ लगेगा, उसमें डायरेक्ट स्पोर्ट्स में वो जो है फोकस हो गया। तो इसी में चलने दो बोल के, तो मैं जो है वो लोग का बात को मान के मैं भी हाँ कर दिया। ठीक है तब तो बेटी आज से आप जो स्पोर्ट्स में आप जहाँ भी जो भी पापा को बोलेगा, जो भी मन आपका कोई भी समय में अब हमको डायरेक्शन देगा, मैं एकदम बारिश हो या धूप हो मैं पहुँच जाएगा, मैं साथ देगा। ऐसे करके अभी तक मैंने चल रहा है।
Observe the stillness. In the world of Tai Chi Chuan, Mepung is a master of balance. Every lunge and every jump is a calculation of gravity and grace. This is the result of thousands of hours of repetition. Her rise was revolutionary. From winning gold at the National Games to dominating the Nordic Open in Sweden, she has displayed a maturity that defies her years. In a sport that demands perfection in every millisecond, she has learned that her greatest opponent is the person in the mirror.
सर ये 2023 में जब मेरा बहन का इंडिया गेम में फॉर एशियन गेम्स के लिए सेलेक्ट हुआ था, वी वर वेरी हैप्पी कि हमारा फैमिली से, हमारा जो स्टेट से एक मेरा बहन जो है वो इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करेगा इन एशियन गेम्स। लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली जब उनका ट्रेनिंग चल रहा था तो उनका इंजरी हो गया। उसमें स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन का जो ACL टियर होता है, जो ACL टियर जो है वो बहुत बड़ा होता है सर। स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन का करियर में वो जो बहुत इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। शाम को बहन ने मुझे फ़ोन किया, भैया उनका पेन हो रहा है, उनका नी जो है वो डिसबैलेंस सा हो रहा है। समझ में आ गया था हमको कि उनको ACL टियर है। तो फिर बाद में वहाँ पे MRI कराया, कंफर्मेशन हो गया कि उनका कम्प्लेक्स ACL टियर था। देन मैंने बहन को बात किया, पापा से डिस्कस किया। देन मी एंड माई वाइफ, हम बहन को वो श्रीनगर से उसको दिल्ली आना था और हमको अरुणाचल से दिल्ली आना था। तो दिल्ली में हमने उनका ACL रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन वगैरह कराया अच्छे से। बट द थिंग इज़ दैट वो जो रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन तो हमने करा दिया अच्छे से, बट उनका जो इंजरीज जो है, जो उनका जो परफॉर्मेंस जो है उसमें बहुत इम्पैक्ट आ गया था। नॉर्मली मतलब चल भी नहीं सक रहा था वो समय में। हमको लगा था लाइक 6 to 8 मंथ्स के बाद में नॉर्मल सा एटलीस्ट थोड़ा वॉक भी कर सकेगा। बट मेरा बहन के साथ में ऐसा नहीं हुआ। बहन को बहुत तकलीफ था उसको सच में। तो वो समय में हमारा फैमिली के लिए भी बहुत दुख का समय चल रहा था।
Every champion has a beginning. And for Mepung, it started in the rugged terrains of Sepa. It was here that the warrior spirit was first ignited. The support of a family, pride of a community, and the hunger to prove that talent knows no boundaries.
मेपुंग दी ने बहुत गाइड किया, मतलब नहीं क्या जैसे वेट फ्रेंड्स होते हैं ना, थोड़ा नोटी होते हैं ये बदमाश मैंने भी बहुत, लेकिन जिसमें भी मेपुंग दी ने गाइड किया मतलब थोड़ा पनिशमेंट दिया हमारा, बोला है उन लोगों को, मतलब उन लोग से दूर रहो, दोस्त करो, लेकिन थोड़ा दूर रहो, अपने गेम पे फोकस करो। दीदी ने बहुत गाइड किया। स्टिल कभी कभी जो इमोशनली हम लोग साइकोलॉजिकली जो डाउन फील करते हैं ना, उसमें भी दीदी ने बहुत हेल्प किया। मतलब ऐसा मत सोचो ये टफ टाइम पे ऐसा होता है, बहुत सारा गाइडलाइंस थे।
Mepung represents a new breed of Indian athlete, one that comes from the heart of the Northeast, carrying the spirit of her ancestors into the global arena. She isn't just a sports person. She's a lighthouse for every young girl in these mountains who dreams of a life beyond the horizon.
I have faced the hurdles that no one sees. The injuries, the setbacks, the moments where the world felt too heavy to lift. बोला जाए तो इंजूर बहुत बड़ा दुश्मन रहता है हमारे लिए। मैं सुनती थी पहले बिफोर माई इंजरी, मैं सोचता था कि मेरा तो इंजरी नहीं होगा, तो मैंने कभी वो चीज़ को, साइकोलॉजी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होना होता है, मेंटली स्ट्रॉन्ग, इमोशनल बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रहना पड़ता है। मेरे को नहीं पता था ये, जब मैं अपना खुद फेस किया वो इंजरी स्टेज एंड देन वो बहुत स्ट्रेस, बहुत डिप्रेशन में जाने का तो बहुत हो जाता है। मतलब आप आपका दोस्त को देख रहे हो कि वो इतना अच्छा से खेल पा रहे हो, और आपके अंदर में भी वो आग है कि खेलना चाहती हूँ मैं, पर आपका फिजिकल आपको सपोर्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। कंपैरिजन आप खुद से करने लग जाते हो कि मैं पहले कहाँ था, कहाँ हो सकता था, एंड देन वो रिग्रेट बहुत आ जाते हैं कि क्यों किया मैंने वो जंप, अगर वो नहीं किया होता तो मेरा नी अब तक होता, मैं भी खेल रहा होता। ऐसे बहुत थॉट्स आते हैं हमें, मेंटली बहुत दुख हो गया था। मैं तो बहुत बार अकेले में भी रोती थी। मतलब मेरा भैया बोलते हैं कि उन लोग का क्या है कि वो मेरा दुख नहीं देख सकते थे। वो बोलते थे कि छोड़ दो, अगर इतना परेशान हो रहा है तो आप गेम को छोड़ दो ना, हम लोग कोई कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है आपको अलग जो है हम सपोर्ट करेंगे, आपको हम लोग दर्द भी नहीं देख सक रहे। वो सुन के फिर मेरा और रोने का मन करता है, पर ऐसे कि मैं छोड़ना नहीं चाह रहा गेम, क्योंकि मेरा एक मकसद है कि मैं एशियन गेम्स तक जैसे भी, क्योंकि वुशु का वही है, तो हमारा सबका वही सपना है कि आगे तक एक बार खेलना है। अगर खेलने को निकल गया ना मैं, इसलिए मेरा अभी और लाइफ में मेरा एक ही गोल है कि मेरे को अच्छा खेलना है और अच्छा मेडल लेना है इंडिया के लिए एशियन गेम्स में। तो वो मकसद जो अधूरा रह रहा है, तो मैं छोड़ना नहीं चाह रहा बीच में। छोड़ तो सकता हूँ पर नहीं छोड़ पा रहा। मैं कल को नहीं सो पाऊँगी रात को कि मेरा जो मकसद था, मेरा जो गोल था वो कंप्लीट नहीं हो पाया, तो लाइफ में रिग्रेट भी हो जाएगा। और जो ड्यूरिंग इंजरीज था वो बहुत स्ट्रेसफुल होता है, नेगेटिव बहुत आ जाते हैं उसमें, कि ये डाउट रहता है कि आगे जाके कुछ होगा कि नहीं होगा फ्यूचर में। But the warrior doesn't look for an easy part. She looks for the strength to force her on. When I move, I'm carrying the rhythm of the hills. In the fire of a billion dreams. I have seen the summit, and I know what it takes to stand there.
स्पोर्ट्स जो पर्सन होते हैं काफ़ी मेंटली, फिजिकली और इमोशनली भी काफ़ी उनमें स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है ऑलमोस्ट। तो लेकिन मेपुंग ऐसे स्पोर्ट्स वुशु प्लेयर्स अभी रिसेंटली भी वो आफ्टर इतना वो स्ट्रगल करने के बाद वो खुद पे अपना से मेहनत करके कोच के साथ, फैमिली तो ओवरऑल सब ये करके वो अभी उसके रिसेंटली वो वुशु ये में भी वर्ल्ड ये में चैम्पियंस ये में उसमें स्वीडन में जो हुआ था उसमें भी वो जीत के आए, तो इसलिए हम कांग्रेचुलेट करते हैं।
In the modern era, Wushu is as much about science as it is about spirit. Mepung's training involves the constant refinement of the flow state. The athlete and the art become one. The sport becomes an extension of her arm. The movement becomes a blur of silver and silk.
सब जूनियर हम 2 साल खेला है और जूनियर 3 साल। तो सब जूनियर दोनों एक जो सबसे पहले तमिलनाडु की कन्याकुमारी वो 42 kg में खेला था, तो वहाँ में ब्रॉन्ज आया मेरा। फिर नेक्स्ट में गया हिमाचल प्रदेश, तो वहाँ में भी सेम वेट में गया, फिर वहाँ में भी ब्रॉन्ज आया। फिर जूनियर पहुँचे हम, फिर वो भी तमिलनाडु गया, फिर वहाँ थोड़ा रिजल्ट नहीं आया। फिर स्कूल गेम में उस दिन को कश्मीर में हुआ था, वहाँ में 48 kg ब्रॉन्ज आया मेरे।
As the world watches, she stands as the sun around which the future of Indian Wushu revolves. Competing not just against opponents, but against the record books. Every shout of victory and every drop of sweat is a step toward a singular destination.
2026 का एशियन गेम्स इस बार टोक्यो जापान में है, तो इस बार हम जाने का ज़्यादा अच्छा मौका है। हम जाने का पूरा कोशिश करेंगे। मेरा सपना है कि मैं भी इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करूँ एशियन गेम्स बड़े लेवल गेम में, एंड देन मैं गोल्ड जीतूँ और इंडिया का नेशनल गाना एंथम बजे। वो मोमेंट सबके लिए बहुत स्पेशल रहता है, नॉट ओनली फॉर मी, सब जितना भी स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर है। जैसे आप स्पोर्ट्स मैदान में आ जाते हैं तो आपका वही सपना रहता है कि इंडिया के लिए खेलना है। पहले तो ये फीलिंग नहीं था इंडिया के लिए खेलना, क्योंकि हम छोटे थे, इतना स्पोर्ट्स का बारे नहीं आइडिया था। तो जब पहली बार खेला मेरे को अपना अरुणाचल का पहनने का मन था। जब पहली बार गेम किया अरुणाचल का नाम आ गया, ट्रैक सूट पहना है, तो बहुत खुश हुआ, बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हुआ था। उसके बाद जब सीनियर लेवल आया तो पता चला कि बाहर जाना है, इंडिया पहनने को मिलेगा, अरुणाचल तो बहुत दूर की बात। तो जब इंडिया का इतना खुशी हो, हम कैसे बोलेगा, हम लोग बहुत अच्छा लगता है, हमें ज़्यादा ही खुश हो जाते हैं हम जब इंडिया अगर दिख जाए ना कपड़े पे, ट्रैक सूट पे, टी शर्ट पे। तो
ये एशियन गेम को लेके मैंने कुछ सपना था, मेरा बेटी एशियन गेम में पार्टिसिपेट करेगा तो अपना इंडिया को नाम रोशन करेगा बोल के, ऐसे सपना तो हुआ था। लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेट मैंने चाइना जो है वीज़ा नहीं देने का कारण से वहाँ नहीं जा पाया है। लेकिन अभी भी मेरा दिल में वही सोचता है कि इसका तो अभी इतना लंबा और ज़िंदगी है, बहुत और कुछ कर सकता है। और भरोसा है मैंने अभी आने वाला यानी टोक्यो में ये एशियन गेम होगा, तो वहाँ पे पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए थोड़ा अच्छा से तैयारी करने से ठीक है। वहाँ में पार्टिसिपेट करने से तो मैं सोचता हूँ मैंने इंडिया का अरुणाचल से छोटा से एक गांव से इंडिया का नाम को रोशन करेगा, मैं यही उम्मीद करता है।
The mist has returned to the hills. The day's training is done, but the hunger remains. Mepung Lamgu knows that the road to the top is never ending. A journey of 1,000 strikes, 1,000,000 breaths, and a single golden goal.
मैंने 2023 में जो एशियन गेम्स था हांगझाओ चाइना में, मैं वहाँ सेलेक्ट हुई थी। मेरा इंडिया गेम लगा था, तो ड्यूरिंग मेरा प्रैक्टिस इवनिंग में मेरा जम के टाइम में मेरा नी थोड़ा इंजर हो गया, मतलब नी थोड़ा अंदर तरफ चला गया, तो सोइलिंग हो गया ख़राब से। मेरे को तो नहीं पता, मैं सोचा ठीक हो जाएगा करके, मैं ऐसे ही पड़ा हुआ था रूम पे। सर लोग भी सोचा कि कोई बात नहीं ठीक हो जाएगा। जब सोइलिंग, क्योंकि सोइलिंग बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया था, तो आफ्टर थोड़ा सोइलिंग कम होने के बाद मेरे को MRI पे भेजा। श्रीनगर में थे हम इंडिया के, तो MRI किया तो पता चला कि मेरा ACL टीयर हो गया, थर्ड टीयर हो गया, मतलब मेरे को सर्जरी का बहुत अर्जेंट करना पड़ेगा ऐसे बोला डॉक्टर ने। तो मैं सोचा कि एक और बार करती हूँ मैं, क्योंकि मेरे को डाउट था कि स्वेलिंग का वजह से शायद अच्छा से नहीं आया। तो मैं दिल्ली आया एंड देन दिल्ली में आके मैं फिर से MRI किया दोबारा। तो वहाँ मैं MRI करके मैं डॉक्टर से मिली तो डॉक्टर ने बोला कि बहुत जल्दी आपको सर्जरी करना होगा, क्योंकि उनका सजेशन अच्छा भी था कि मेरा बॉडी अभी फिट था तो रिकवरी में जल्दी होगा करके मैंने जल्दी किया था, सर्जरी किया था मैंने। सर्जरी के बाद 2 महीने बाद मैंने नेशनल गेम्स खेला था, मेरा गोवा में जो था, अच्छा रिकवरी हो गया था। नेशनल गेम्स खेला मैंने एंड वहाँ में मैं गोल्ड तो नहीं ले पाई, मैं सिल्वर मिला था वहाँ पे। उसके बाद मैं कंटिन्यू प्रैक्टिस किया, पर ड्यूरिंग प्रैक्टिस में थोड़ा मेरा फिर जम वगैरह रहता है, ऐसे हो कि मैं थोड़ा शायद मैं नी ट्रिगर होते गया एंड थोड़ा नी का रिकवरी जो बहुत अच्छा से हो जाना चाहिए था वो प्रोसेस जो थोड़ा लेट हो गया मेरा। तो उसके बाद मैं थोड़ा ब्रेक ले लिया सर। ब्रेक के बाद मैंने रिसेंटली अभी गेम खेला है। जून को मैं मॉस्को गए थे मेरा, वहाँ पे मैंने ब्रॉन्ज जीता एंड देन अभी रिसेंटली मैं दिसंबर को स्वीडन गया था, वहाँ पे मैंने गोल्ड जीता और छत्तीसगढ़ में हमारा जो फेडरेशन हुआ था वहाँ पे मैंने गोल्ड जीता। It's not about flash of the lights or the roar of the crowd. It's about the work done in the shadows. It's about the discipline when no one is watching. My journey is written in every drop of sweat. My legacy is carved in every stride. My name is Mepung Lamu. I am an Indian Wushu player and this is my story.
Heaviest snowfall in the last 1 decade has taken place in almost all parts of Jammu and Kashmir. With the low-lying areas of Jammu also receiving the snowfall, the life has become a standstill. Right now we are reporting from the Poonch district, where the snow has covered the entire area. This is the Poonch Mandi road, where you will only see the layer of snow that has completely taken over. This is the first snowfall of the season that has taken place and it has completely engulfed this entire area. Whether it is mountains, trees, bridges, roads or the houses, everything is under the grip of the snow that has taken place. It's for the first time in last 1 decade that the Poonch town has also received this heavy magnitude of snowfall as the life has become standstill. The avalanche warning that has been issued by the weather department, keeping that in view, the road traffic has also been halted. The Jammu has completely been connected with the Poonch as the Bhimbar Gali road that has also come to a standstill with the vehicles not moving to and fro. So this kind of a heavy snowfall has taken place, and after the advisory that has been issued by the weather department, the police has ensured that there is no movement of the vehicles on the road. Right now the road from where we are reporting from, this is the Poonch Mandi road, and here you will see that there is no vehicle on the road. Only we were allowed to travel to show that what kind of a situation is. Otherwise there are rarely any vehicle movement except some medical emergencies that are being allowed. And also the weather forecast say that 26 and 27 it is going to be a similar kind of a havoc that is going to take place. It is going to be a similar magnitude rainfall and snowfall that is going to take place. So the authorities have decided that the schools will also remain closed at least for the days that the snow is taking place.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't stopped it. No, he debanked me. So we'll see if that beeps anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanking. Get debanked if you don't have money, or if you fall to have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County State Court, centers on a controversial practice known as debanking. The president alleges that the bank has systematically denied services to him and his associated businesses, not because of financial risk, but due to political bias. This isn't just a dispute over a checking account. This is a high-stakes legal battle that accuses the largest bank in the United States of trade libel, bad faith, and violating state consumer protection laws. The core of the complaint is that J.P. Morgan Chase violated Florida's deceptive trade practices law. The legal team for the president argues that Florida law explicitly prohibits financial institutions from terminating accounts or denying services based on a person's political opinions, speech, or affiliations. According to the complaint reviewed by Bloomberg, Trump's lawyers state that, quote, debanking is a matter of public interest and significant importance to all consumers and businesses in the United States of America. They argue that J.P. Morgan
After all these years of experience, I think I have a very strange equation with fame. I enjoy it sometimes. Like, I am famous. That's the reason I'm here with you today. I'm enjoying my time with you. Yay. But I think I know the transient nature of this.
I also feel that way. Always enjoy the moment. Know that nothing lasts. Don't get attached to any one thing too much, thinking that it is yours. We're lucky to be here at this moment.
Can I ask you, you're so famous. How do you deal with this?
I have a theory about it. As a satire to my life, I say, you put a lamppost on TV for 25 years at 9 o'clock every night, it will be a very famous lamppost. So मैं तो अपने आप को नहीं, not generous. It's a complete total reality.
I was invited to Labasna. I was invited by Labasna.
Wow.
to speak to the officer trainees.
Wow, that's very unconventional, I must say.
Yeah. I was the only actor who was invited.
What did you talk about?
I spoke about my life. We spoke of 12th fail. I spoke about my life, and I love sharing my life with people because this is such a privilege, sir, for me to be sitting here chatting with you and even interacting with those students there.
Yes.
Those officer trainees there.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, my numbers could be wrong.
Yeah.
There were more than 600 officer trainees inducted in civil services last year, or last to last year probably. Out of which I think 50% were out on some form of training. There were only 330 officer trainees present there when I was speaking. And by the end of it, when I was walking back, there were more than 30 to 40 officer trainees who came up to me and told me, we are here because of 12th fail.
Oh God.
Can you believe this?
Amazing.
That's the impact of storytelling.
Wow.
That's the impact of cinema.
When I first came on TV as an anchor, I used to do something called Surkhiyan, which is the headlines in Hindi.
Yeah.
Then when I anchored a little bit, people little bit recognize you. Yeah. So when I used to take my car out to put petrol, the guy putting petrol said, "Sir, kaun se serial mein aate hain?" Oh God, my journalistic career has gone for a toss. The one thing which matters most to me when I meet people for this series is the spirit of authenticity. Are you true to your art, to your craft, to your business, whatever it is that you may do? For me, authenticity is key to success. And the person who I'm bringing on the program today, if I were to say there's one thing that I really admire the person for in the short time I've known him, is the fact that he's a completely authentic individual. Now, you do not very often find people from the world of cinema who are authentic, because you're told, it may or may not be true, that you have to convey yourself in ways that you are not. You have to behave like you're a star, like you're a celebrity. And when I was growing up as a child, I remember going to a film shoot and I saw Rajesh Khanna sitting somewhere, and I remember going and taking an autograph. It was always as if the actor had to be larger than life. In today's day and age, an actor is known by their craft. In this decade, the 2020s, we've seen the explosion of a new kind of talent in our cinema industry, in our movie industry, because you can't really separate OTT, television and cinema, can you? You've seen new talent come, both as directors, producers, but principally as actors. And one of the people in that sphere who I consider perhaps one of the finest and most authentic of all is Vikrant Massey. Now, what do I say about Vikrant? I probably met him the first time about a year and a half back.
The nation wants to know. The nation wants to know कि इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग लड़के की किस्मत में सिर्फ इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग कोर्स क्यों होता है और इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग लड़की क्यों नहीं? द नेशन वांट्स टू नो. And like this.
I liked him. I found him very grounded, down to earth, clear and authentic. So I always believed, and I've said this in Mercedes Brings You the New Business of Life, that to be successful, you must be clear about who you are and where you need to go. It's not about talking big, it's about doing big. It's not just about dreaming, but it's about execution. But finally, when you go back home, it's about being true to yourself. So it brings me great pleasure. And I know I've interviewed founders, startup owners, business persons so far. This is the first person I'm bringing you, not from the world of Bollywood, I would say, but from the world of cinema, from the world of moving arts. And I'm excited to introduce Vikrant to you. So let's go and catch up. Vikrant, hi.
Such a pleasure to see you again. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Vikrant.
Thank you so much for having me here again.
You're very kind to come here to our campus. I was just saying in the introduction, and that, I find authenticity to be the most important thing in any person.
Thank you.
And you're probably one of the few people I meet from the world of cinema who's so grounded and so authentic.
Thank you so much for your generous words, for your kind words. And like you said, yes, I had the great opportunity to meet you a year and a half back.
About a year and a half back, yeah.
Right here for
yes,
Sangam.
Right here.
And, Right. So thank you for having me here again, and thank you for your generous words. And it's such a pleasure to see you again. And as most people can see, we all know he works 16, 18 hours a day. He's got an injured thumb. He's still doing what he does best, and he's here doing this with us. So thank you.
No, I look at learning. For me, this episode is two things are important to doing this episode. First, I have to find a person who is willing to risk their life with me at the wheels.
I'm willing to do that.
I keep looking for a murga, as they say in Delhi language, every few months. I found quite a few. And the second important thing is someone I can learn something from.
Oh, that's so.
So when we drive around today, and welcome to Noida and Greater Noida, by the way. It's the emerging new hub of Uttar Pradesh, the yogi way of life, as we say. A lot of development in this area, lots of stuff happening. And so when we drive around, we'll talk about your films, your art, your everything, and your life is in my hands with my broken
I'm in safe hands. I can definitely say that.
We'll have fun driving around. We're all
wow, we've got all cameras.
We are all cameraed up. Everything is on record. And
it's a beautiful, beautiful car.
It's a beautiful car. I'm grateful. These cars are so high tech. Okay.
And these are soft touch cars.
Soft touch cars.
Yeah, so you wouldn't even know the knob is moving.
Yeah. Shall we go?
Yes.
Every time you drive a new car,
yeah,
you get used to it takes you 2 minutes to get used to into the electronics around.
But this is like a cockpit, right?
This is like a cockpit.
This is actually like a cockpit. It can intimidate anyone.
It can. And we bring down the temperature a wee bit. Do you like the Delhi cold?
I love it.
Huh?
I come from Mumbai.
You come from Mumbai. Do you enjoy this weather?
I love it. This is the only time during winter. The only time that you actually get to sort of wear those fancy jackets that you have.
You miss doing that in Bombay?
I really do. I really miss wearing those jackets, those hoodies and your scarves. Yeah.
I love the sense of space that we have in Noida. This part, when we came here, it was all empty. And now we see a lot of companies being built around Republic, where we are now moving out of. And there are robotics companies, there are new age companies.
Yeah.
So now we are moving out of the campus. We're going to take you for a little ride around.
Sure. I would love to.
And so let's have fun.
Yep.
Great. So this is our campus on the right. This is sector 158 in Noida.
And and I must say this on record that the campus at Republic is not just sprawling, it is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's so, I believe you've done a lot of sustainable stuff here.
We did 1,400 trees out here. We're doing things as sustainably as possible. I'm not very much into it, but we take a lot of pride in the fact that there's a lot of outdoors.
Oh, yeah, your team was telling me this.
What were they saying?
They were saying that we've planted a few thousand trees. We've used a lot of recycled stuff in the construction.
Yes.
You haven't used a lot of paint.
No.
Right?
No.
It's all brick wall.
Anyway, Vikrant, let's drive regardless. Now tell me, how have things been? In this episode, Vikrant, I try to get to know people outside of my field. I know very little. And I really believe, Vikrant, that you learn by knowing about the lived experience of other people, right?
Yeah.
You and I from very different professions.
Yes.
So tell me, what makes you? Let me bust out.
What makes me
broad. I believe, everybody is a product of their experiences.
Yeah.
What makes Vikrant Massey? What is in this din and competitiveness of cinema? What made you come out? What made you break through? And what keeps you where you are? Broad question to start.
Yeah, pretty broad. But I think most of it, I might sound a little pompous when I talk about myself. I think most of it is for other people to answer. But what makes me, I think it's you've used this wonderful word, which is a shared experience, a common experience, of a shared history rather. I think I've been very fortunate with the fact that the audiences have been so generous, even after 21 years of professional work. I started off with TV. I did nearly a decade of television. It's been more than 10, 11, 12 years. In fact, we are in 26 now. 12 years of acting in cinema. The love has only grown, the support has only grown. And I say this with all humility because I'm 38. Already have 21 years of experience and the audiences are still there supporting me.
21 years?
Yeah.
You started when I was 16.
That is the first time you faced the camera? Yes. I was 16.
For television?
For television.
So tell me about the first time you faced the camera. Let's start there.
I started off, I remember the date also very, very clearly. It was 19th of December 2004 when I faced the camera for the first time. And prior to that, I was working as a barista. I did that job because I had to, and most people know that I did those odd jobs because I had to support my own education. So I'm not going to get in that sob story, my struggle. I used to work in Shamak Davar's troupe as an assistant instructor, and out of the blue, in a restaurant, you've lived in Mumbai.
Yes.
So the restaurant in Pali Hill, out of the blue.
Out of the blue? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was offered my Carter Road corner. Yes. I was offered my first TV stint by a lady named Deepti Kalwani there. And I think she liked my face. I was young and I was bright with stars in my eyes, and she offered me my first TV show then. And that's how the journey began.
What was the role?
I was offered to play the lead role in a TV show
at 16.
At 16. It was a teenage show. It was
what was the show?
The show was called Kahan Hoon Main. It was a part fantasy show about a guy who goes invisible.
Okay.
Yeah. A very good show. And you will not believe, I quit my job at Shamak. I used to get paid. I used to conduct classes with some of the senior instructors in SDIPA, which is Shamak Davar's Institute for Performing Arts.
Yes.
I quit that job, a stable job. I went in for this TV show. They offered me a lot of money, and I actually went in for the money because I was in college. That was first year junior college.
Okay.
11th standard, like is a first year junior college in is school in Delhi, and most CBSE boards, but it's college in Mumbai. And I shot for that TV show, sir. Shot for that TV show. I think we shot for 7 episodes across 8-9 months, and that show never came on air.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, the broadcasters had something to do with the producers.
You must have been absolutely crushed with it.
I was. I was absolutely crushed.
Because you must have imagined the moment when the show will come on air for the first time and everybody will recognize you and the applause you get. So you shot for how long?
I shot for almost more than half a year.
I got paid for it?
Half of my money was unpaid.
And the show didn't go on air?
The show didn't go on air.
So it became like a pilot show?
It eventually ended up becoming a pilot, and
Was it ever shown?
It was.
Where?
At 2 a.m. midnight.
Where?
On Star Plus. It was a Star property. That show was a Star property.
So Star had actually commissioned the show?
They had commissioned the show, but I don't exactly know what transpired between the producers and the broadcasters. And weirdly so, I don't know why that show was telecast years after it was shot, and I had already done
Balika in the morning?
At 2 a.m.
When you were doing Balika Badhu?
It was post Balika Badhu.
That's like what, 8 years later, 10 years later?
No, it was I think 4 years later to that. 4 years after that.
Strange things.
Yeah, and there are so many things that happen, which actors actually don't know. Also because, actors are probably the last people to come on board. And then I was crushed, like you said. But that producer was kind enough. When he saw this young boy who had dreams in his eyes, who was the lead actor in one of his shows, and then when he also knew that I had quit a stable job, and he also knew the financial situation that I was in, he offered me a job in his production office.
You guys what?
As an assistant creative director.
One minute, just wait. Go back to the time you first faced the camera, right? Just give me that moment. Rewind to that and relive it for me.
So I was
for everyone here.
Yeah. So I always wanted to be an actor, but obviously no 16-year-old boy wants to be an actor. I thought that I'll finish my graduation. I'll probably do theatre. I thought I'll do NSD after graduation. I'll at least go to FTI, which is closer to home, and then maybe 24, 25, I'll act professionally. But then 16, it happened at 16, and I was at that point as well. I felt it's better to gain experience on ground.
No, do you remember the first time you said your lines?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. So there's this property called Graphic House in Mud Island. And I live in Mud Island now, right? It's five minutes away from where I stay. I was facing the camera. I was horrible at what I was doing. And the director was a very experienced film director that time. So pehle kya hota tha ki they would get film directors to set up your show because they would have more money at the beginning. And I was so bad. I remember very, very clearly my director yelled at me and I started crying. I was so naive.
What were you bad in?
I don't know, maybe everything. Because I was not a trained actor.
Yeah.
I was not a trained actor. I was mouthing my lines. He was not happy with the way I was doing it, of course. And he lost his patience. He lost his cool. He yelled at me on the mic. And what I felt on the mic.
Made personal comment.
Not a personal comment. He's like, you go learn your lines. What you're doing is rubbish. What you're doing is not right. And he said a few things. I don't exactly remember. But I remember me breaking down.
Oh God.
I broke down because I felt so humiliated. And the only thing I told to the lady, the executive producer who walked up to me, who eventually ended up becoming one of my closest friends, I'm still in touch with her. It's like, यार मुझे अकेले में बोल देते, सबके सामने क्यों मुझे बोला? सबके सामने मुझे क्यों डांट लगाई? And that's where you come from, right? You've never been sort of spoken to like this.
As Brusby, huh?
Yeah. And yeah, that was it. But then I think I took it on the chin. And that's always been my nature. Always willing to learn, always wanting to sort of unlearn as well at the same time. And I'm glad that experience happened, and he was generous enough. Then I think that very evening he came up to me and he said, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. But that one moment, the first day of shoot, you're yelled at in front of 100 people.
You still meet that person?
No, unfortunately, no. I don't even know where he is.
Do you have any grouse about?
No.
Do you keep bitterness?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Ek din I will show you.
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. He was kind enough, in fact, a few years ago.
Is that a good sentiment to have? I've met many people
to hold grudges?
Not. Well, you can call it a grudge. You can call it ek din dikha dunga kind of ambition.
No, that's horrible.
I think it's not.
No, that's not nice. That's not nice. I think if you ask me, I tend to forgive, but I don't forget. I mean,
Aman was on the program,
Oh yeah. The boat guy.
The boat guy.
Yeah.
And Aman once said that something happened to him. He was on this show. He said something happened to him one day when he was working before he set up port, and then he had this feeling. He said, typically he told the guy, "Milte hain market mein." Kind of.
There's a story also when I told my boss, sir, मेरे पैसे बढ़ा दो, उन्होंने बढ़ाई नहीं, तो मैंने बोला मार्केट में मिलते हैं सर.
Market में मिलते हैं. मिलते हैं market में. That's a very Delhi thing,
it's a very human thing.
It's a human thing, but you underplayed it. Why?
Because I don't think that experience was as severe as not severe enough for me to sort of want to sort of pay back for it. I don't think it was that severe. I wouldn't deny that there have been certain experiences wherein I've held them very, very close to my chest.
Like what? Share.
There have been a lot of casting directors when I was breaking through from television to movies. And unfortunately, there was this preconceived notion about television actors not being good at what they do. They're not good actors. And there was this disparity between film actors and TV actors.
Wow.
So there were a few people like producers and casting directors who very openly told me that, you're a TV actor and we'll never work with you because you're a TV actor. And,
openly.
Openly.
So you feel there's a mindset against TV actors, or there was earlier?
There was, but not anymore.
Not now, no?
On the contrary, some of the finest actors you see now, especially in the last 10 years, both.
Name a few.
I mean, whether it is Yami Gautam, whether it is Mrunal Thakur, whether it is Laksh, who was a part of Aryan Khan's show, Bads of Bollywood. He was from TV. I think, even some of the biggest directors, Anurag Basu, Anurag Kashyap, all these people, they've worked in television. Irfan Khan, the late Irfan Khan.
I'm the biggest fan.
Same.
I don't think there's.
I became an actor
like
because I saw Makbul in 2003.
Oh yes.
I was in National College and Gaiety Galaxy was right behind my college.
Yes.
And I went there. I picked up a stall ticket worth 30 rupees. That film floored me. I went back to college the next day. The next day I went and I bought another ticket. And I saw the movie again the very next day.
Yeah.
And I decided,
I never understood what it is about him that riveted everybody onto the screen. But if you see that he was like a one-man, I feel he was like a one-man army, you know. He could hold the entire film through his eyes and his intensity and everything. There was also, you know, a lot of this rooted person, clear about himself. Always I found him a bit spaced out when I met him. He was always in his own world.
I think he was a true artist.
A true artist, absolute legend. What a loss, man! What a loss! What a loss! But tell me, this thing about Balika Badhu.
Yeah.
You know, you're a TV actor. You became very famous during Balika Badhu. 2 questions on Balika Badhu. One on the unconventional nature of the series and how nobody expected it to do well. It went against the grain and it did so well and it made colors what it became. Second, about you must have also then, there must have been like 1,000% increase in your personal appeal, your fame.
Yes.
Your noticeability, your recognizability. I'm sure everyone knew before that, but it must have gone to a different level of celebrity.
It's a different ball.
So tell me about how you handled it.
How I handled it?
What was it like? When did you first realize, when did you realize that I'm really famous? I'm really famous.
I think it was post.
Like, I'm as big as any film star.
No,
you.
No, not yet. I'm still not there.
You're not there?
No, I'm still not there.
No, but at that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The media must be after you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old.
I mean it. There were no paparazzis.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
They didn't chase you when you came out of the gym, when you came out of home?
No.
This has happened now? There was no viral Bayani then?
No.
Nowadays, I have told.
Back then, it was just, you know.
What do you mean back then? No, if you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean.
What am I then? Back then.
No, but I genuinely mean it.
There wasn't.
No, there was
but
no.
Tell me about handling fame.
Handling fame.
And Balika Badhu.
Yeah. So, beginning with I'd done a fairly popular show called Dharamveer right before that.
Okay.
And there was another new.
This is which
2007.
Yeah. Dharamveer came on which channel?
On NDTV. Imagine there was a new channel which had launched simultaneously with colors.
Yeah, I know that.
And Dharamveer was a very, very, very popular show,
right,
which was relocated to Vadodara because of that. And a lot of people. That was the first time I actually realized that, okay, I'm getting famous.
Yeah?
Yeah. When people would, and I was what, 20?
Yeah.
20 actually.
Yeah.
When people would come up to me and ask for autographs. Us time to selfie bhi nahi hoti thi.
Okay.
Right? They would ask for autographs. And when I would sign those autographs, I'd be like, oh, you know what? And I would go back home and tell my parents, you know what, aaj mere saath ye hua, because I would fly back twice a month from Vadodara to Mumbai. And I would share those experiences. My mother used to cut newspaper articles and laminate them.
Oh, wonderful!
And we still have them preserved.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I kind of realized, okay, I'm getting a little popular.
Yeah.
But like you said, no comparison to film stars, because that's a different ball game altogether. And Balika Badhu, I was actually, and not a lot of people know this thing, sir, that Balika Badhu was a show written by this gentleman called Purnendu Shekhar.
Okay.
He had pitched the same show in 1997.
Okay.
10-11 years prior to Colors picking it up to another major GAC.
Okay.
And they refused it. They outrightly refused it. I, of course, cannot name that GAC because I work very closely with them. We can't do that.
Diplomatic.
Have to. Okay. So, and even when it came on Colors, there was a big slate of shows coming out in Colors because it's a new channel that's being launched. This was one show that a lot of people were not willing to promote.
They were ashamed of.
Not ashamed. They were a little skeptical, maybe.
Or they felt that, hey, chalega to chalega, but I don't want this to define the whole channel.
Maybe.
Because maybe they won't watch anything. Because, it's all about being conventional. Kyunki saas bhi kabhi bahu thi, this, that kind of stuff, right?
And all the other shows that came on Colors at that time, they did really, really well. But nobody, and I can tell this to you very, very proudly, there was not a single hoarding of Balika Vadhu being put up.
By whom? By Colors?
By whoever, by the makers, by Colors.
But why they were not sure about it?
Maybe they were not really sure about what the show would do, or because it was against the grain.
Yeah. Tell Gen Z why it was against the grain.
Why was it against the grain? Because firstly, at that point in time, it was pure entertainment. Balika Vadhu was a social drama.
Yeah.
Of course, you had these art house movies talk about, disparity, about the socio-economic background of our society, of the country, of upliftment. Not a lot of that was happening in television. I think back in the 80s and 90s, there were TV shows which spoke about this, but not during Balika Vadhu's time. So
yeah, but there was always an element, like in Sholay, there was the whole relationship between a widow and a...
And that was exactly what my character...
Wasn't that also the case? Jaya Bachchan, right? Played the widow and Amitabh Bachchan.
And Amitabh Bachchan. And in Balika Vadhu...
That was also it was...
Quite similar.
It was similar.
Quite similar.
But Balika Vadhu took it one step higher. Which means our society is open to...
Absolutely.
Talking about taboo issues.
Yeah.
But nobody was willing to take the risk.
It's just... See, we say na ki ye trend hai, but there is always that one person who goes against the grain, does something which works, and then everyone wants to follow that trend.
Yeah.
And that is what happened with Balika Vadhu, or even the show you spoke of, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. Nobody was writing like that. Nobody was producing like that. Ekta Kapoor came out. She produced an out-and-out family drama. That became the norm, and everybody wanted to make a show like Ekta Kapoor. And there was lack of creativity, and I concede to the fact that even when I was out of Balika Vadhu doing other TV shows, because I continued to act in other TV shows, there would be TRPs.
Yeah.
So the producers would talk about which shows rating higher, and they would have people watch those shows. They would have those writers sit in front of those TV sets and ask them to ape what the number one show is.
But that doesn't work.
That doesn't work
because it's not from the heart.
Absolutely.
Fake hai.
Absolutely. It's pretentious. And but that's...
But hats off to the people who took these decisions.
And a lot of other shows that came out on that channel were really path-breaking. They wanted to actually go against the grain and do something.
Yeah, so you became famous. Tell me about fame. My question was about fame.
I mean, fame... I think I've had a very strange relationship with fame, even like... I couldn't say back then, even when I started off, because
By the way, can I tell you a story about fame?
Yeah.
So I used to, when I first came on TV as an anchor, I used to do something called Surkhiyan, which is the headlines in Hindi.
Yeah.
And I was freaked out about it every time because I would mess up my Hindi, but it was the only chance at anchoring. Then when I anchored a little bit, people little bit recognize you. Yeah. So I stayed in Mayur Vihar. So when I used to take my car out to put petrol, I'll tell you the guy putting petrol say, "Sir, कौन से serial में आते हैं?" God, my journalistic career has gone for a toss. After all this reporting, sir, आप कोई serial में आते हैं? This is like, oh God.
People still tell me people still recognize me by
Balika Vadhu. They do.
They do. I go to these.
अच्छा तो लगता है ना.
अच्छा बहुत.
Now tell me, when did you feel? And how did you react to fame?
I was very happy initially, right? People asking for autographs. But I've always been this borderline reticent shy guy.
Okay.
I mean, even today, I love taking the metro. I love going out with my wife and friends and doing the normal things which I've always done.
Can you?
I can't. Because I would want to. And I still try squeezing in those moments, like going having chat. Or, going grocery shopping with my wife. I don't know. I mean, and I genuinely mean it when I say this thing. Now, when you have the paparazzi culture, when you have the digital media everywhere, everyone's got a phone, everyone's a journalist today, right?
Yeah.
So, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. I love my own space. I thoroughly love what I do in front of the camera. That's something which I live for. But I also, at the same time, I want to have that normalcy, which is so important for me to go back to a normal home, to live a normal life, to drive, or to just, take that walk, or just do the things I spoke of. वो नहीं हो पाता है. But I would want that, I would really want that. I still want to go out and play cricket with my friends. Yeah. They play cricket every Sunday. Yeah. But now when I go to play cricket, they start obliging me, and that makes me so uncomfortable.
Why obliging you?
Yeah, because I think the way they
relate to you, the way they
see me, the way they behave with me, it makes me very uncomfortable. I want to be treated the same way, but they don't treat me the same way.
Anyway, these are the pitfalls.
Yeah. So that's how it is. But some of them are good enough, kind enough. They still treat me the same way, and that keeps you grounded. That keeps you home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So fame is something which, and today, after all these years of experience, I think I have a very strange equation with fame. I enjoy it sometimes. Like, I am famous. That's the reason I'm here with you today. I'm enjoying my time with you. Yeah. But I think I know the transient nature of this.
Yeah, you should know.
Always know.
Always know. It never lasts.
Never lasts.
It never lasts.
Nothing
it's a period. Nothing lasts. I also feel that way. Always enjoy the moment. Know that nothing lasts. Don't get attached to any one thing too much, thinking that it is yours. We're lucky to be here at this moment. But one thing I want to ask you, now we went through 12.
Like, can I ask you? You're so famous.
No.
Like, now I'm sure everyone knows you. Nobody will ask you, आपको कौन से TV serial में आप रहे हो? Everybody knows you. Like, how do you deal with this?
Being honest, I'll tell you, I only enjoy when I'm doing a news story. So if you ask me, what makes me really happy? If somebody comes and tells me that this story you did, this show you did made a difference, it was really good. Like recently we did some stuff on the Aravalis, we pushed back against the Supreme Court order. We criticized the court, we criticized the Supreme Court. People said I was mad, then they say, you're taking an anti-BJP line, taking an anti-government line, they make memes out of you. But at the end of the day, I had the Chief Justice Gawai call me, and he said I was unfair to him. So I said, sir, I can only give you an opportunity to come on air. I remember before my interview with him, I called Rhythm, I called a few lawyers. I was preparing for the interview. I could feel the rush. And when I was interviewing him, when I was citing court cases, and when I felt that he was fumbling, sorry, Justice Gawai, I'm not mocking you, but he was fumbling. That gave me a thrill and a high because I felt that I had done my work. So if you tell me what makes me really happy, eventually it's not about fame. It's about what makes you happy. What's your intense moment in life? It's like an athlete. For him, the biggest happiness will be when he's drenched in sweat.
Yeah. And when he's got the desired result.
And when he's got the result, right? When you make that effort. So for me, what makes me happy is that moment, that story, that thing. And then somebody remembering that or feeling that you could make a policy level change because of your work.
Wow.
So that is more important than fame.
The impact is more important.
Fame, I always I have a theory about it. I say you put a lamppost on TV. As a satire to my life, I say, you put a lamppost on TV for 25 years at 9 o'clock every night, it will be a very famous lamppost. तो मैं तो अपने आप को नहीं, not generous. It's a complete total reality because
I get you.
Because the thing is that life has given me the opportunity of being at 9 o'clock, and now that I own my own network, whether people like it or not, I will come at 9 o'clock till I decide to retire because I can't be sacked. But the question is that not that point. The point is there has to be what you call a drenched in sweat moment. And I, on that note, want to ask you, I always look at what is the intensity of that moment. Anupam Kher came and he did a performance. He was on the stage and he turned his back to the camera. And
I saw that.
You saw that? He turned around. I was crying. He was sobbing. He was crying. And I held his hand after that. I hugged him. I took him to my green room. I sat with him. I'm telling you, Vikrant, it took him 10 minutes to bring himself down. And that's what he said, I bring it.
टीवी लेने नहीं आया हूं मैं, अपने मरे हुए बेटे की अस्थियां लेने आया हूं.
All his emotion, I don't know what you call it, what kind of acting you call it?
Method acting.
Oh my God. I was scared seeing him in that.
He's been a method actor. More than 550 films.
But that is his drenched in sweat moment. Yeah. So I saw 12th Fail. I told you I saw it twice, once with my family. And that moment when you get into the list.
Yeah.
You know, that moment when nobody thinks you're going to get in, when you're sitting down, that famous scene which is defined. And in that moment I thought that so many people must be identified with this, say, this is what I'm living for.
Yes.
तो मुझे वो कैसे करते हो? Like, how do you, does that not give you much more satisfaction if you do a thing like that than all the money that you've earned or all the apartments you're going to buy?
There is nothing bigger than that. There is nothing.
It can't. So tell me about that. How does it work? I want people watching this to know, how do you do something that everybody is transfixed on? You know? And it's the most simple scene. It's not got 20 drone cameras. It's not got any dance sequence. It's not got any costume. It's got nothing, Vikrant.
Yeah,
it's only got you. So tell me about that.
I think.
Pura describe karo mujhe. I want to know that moment.
See,
I'm very curious about.
I feel, I completely second you. I was about to sort of butt in when you said, what gives you that drenched in sweat moment. That film. That entire film for me in my career and my filmography has been that drenched in sweat moment. And one of the reasons why the whole country lapped onto that film is because it is each and everyone's story. Where Manoj Kumar Sharma came from, his struggle for sincerity, his struggle for honesty, dignity. I think all of us have gone through that at some point in our life. The universal nature of that film is what connected with people, firstly. Secondly, the moment that you're talking about when my character gets selected.
All the friends go and see the
All the friends go in, we all hug, we weep with joy. See, 12th Fail is such an India story. And चाहे वो गांव में हो, चाहे वो किसी बड़े शहर में हो, everybody has felt what my character felt in the movie. And not just my character, there has been that father who's waited for his son or daughter to succeed in life. There has been that mother who's eaten one roti less so that she could feed her children. And that universal nature which Vidhu Vinod Chopra ji brought out through his writing and his direction is firstly what I feel really, really resonated with people. As an actor, what I did, there were so many moments from my own life that I was so lucky. I was so lucky when, I just did a campaign with Titan, by the grace of God, I'm the face of Titan Watches India.
Wow, great.
It's a heritage legacy brand. And, in that ad, Titan came up to me, the creative team from the Tata Group came up to me and they told me, we want to put in a line for 12th Fail and for you, which is so synonymous with everything that has happened in your life today, that maybe you were rehearsing for the part the whole time. And maybe I was rehearsing for the part the whole time in reality. I've had similar experiences in life. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, why would a 16-year-old boy step out to support his own education? When your friends are out there in the ground, they are playing cricket, they are playing football, and you can see them when you have your backpack on and you're catching like 4 trains a day, you're working 16 hours a day, you're eating Parle-G and pani. Parle-G doodh bhi nahi, Parle-G pani.
Oh my God.
Yeah. To just give yourself that glucose kick. So and as an actor, most actors tend to sort of bring their own personal experiences in the parts that they play.
Okay.
And it definitely helps. Your own personal experiences do help. But I also want to share that one drenched in sweat moment like yours. I was invited to Labasna last year, which is the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration.
Okay.
I was invited by Labasna to speak to the officer trainees.
Wow, that's very unconventional. I must say.
You have, former officers, former chief justices, and you have former civil servants go there. I was the only actor who was invited by the faculty, and I went there, and I have come here.
What did you talk about?
I spoke about my life. We spoke of 12th fail. I spoke about my life, and I love sharing my life with people because this is such a privilege, sir, for me to be sitting here chatting with you, or even interacting with those students there.
Yes.
Those officer trainees there.
Yeah.
It is actually a dream, Ramu. You can only dream about this.
But when in that scene, when you sit down, and nobody knows in the film whether that is you're defeated or you won, right? And everybody,
and the girl just nods.
Yeah, and we still don't know. So tell me about that. How do you bring it on? Is that method acting?
A lot.
What do you said you bring your life's experience. What was going through your mind at that time?
I think maybe the rejections that I've faced over these years. Maybe the hunger that we were talking about a while back, the hunger that still resides within me to go out there and prove myself as an actor, wanting to just go and share the many common experiences that we share. And I take absolute pride in where I come from, and unfortunately there are days when the world you actually belong to, people don't resonate with it as much. It is the world of glamour, but it's also much more than just glamour. Right. So on and off you end up finding like-minded people who want to share their life with you. Like Vinod Chopra comes from the same place. So, but coming back to Labasna, I want to share that Trench and Sweat moment. There, if I'm not wrong, my numbers could be wrong. There were more than 600 officer trainees inducted in civil services last year, or last year probably. Out of which I think 50% were out on some form of training. There were only 330 officer trainees present there when I was speaking. I clicked pictures with everyone. I clicked selfies with everyone. I signed some autographs. And by the end of it, when I was walking back, there were more than 30 to 40 officer trainees who came up to me and told me, we are here because of 12th fail.
Oh God.
Can you believe? Can you believe this?
Amazing.
That's the impact of storytelling.
Wow.
That's the impact of cinema.
Yeah. It's huge.
It's immeasurable.
It's immeasurable.
And it's always been.
And it's not only now. You see, that is one batch.
I was about to say that.
And it's not only about civil services. It's about saying that against all the odds you can make.
Yes.
Okay, that's the power of cinema.
That's the power of cinema.
That's the power of what you've done. When did you see the film for the first time?
I saw the film for the first time when Vinod sir called me to his office. He's got this little mini theatre in his office. He called me there and he put a pen and paper, bottles of water in front of me. He even put a tissue box, I remember very clearly, right next to me because he'd seen the film, through and through. And he put me alone in that mini theatre. Without background, without sound because...
Edited, complete. With music, track, everything?
Just placeholder music.
Okay.
He said कि तू पिक्चर देख, टिश्यू का बॉक्स मैंने रखा है यहाँ पे, तेरे को जरूरत पड़ेगी इसकी. And I was like, अच्छा ठीक है, हो सकता है, हो सकता है उसकी जरूरत पड़े. And I wept and I wept and I wept. I wept because, and also what tends to happen as an actor is, you've shot the film, you've moved on in life, the film is edited, the sound is done, so you're only watching a lot of stuff in hindsight, right? Because you've moved on in life, your perspectives have changed, and half the things you forget. कि 8 महीने पहले हमने क्या शूट किया था, वो exactly पूरा वो bit में याद.
कहाँ शूट किया था last scene?
Last scene we shot in Delhi.
Not in UPSC Bhavan.
No, because we shot the exterior of the UPSC Bhavan, which you must have seen.
Yeah.
But of course, for security reasons, you cannot shoot inside the UPSC Bhavan. So we shot it at some other Bhavan, which I'm not remembering now. And Vinod sir, being the filmmaker that he is, he recreated everything back in Mumbai. Even the table, the wood that is used on the table, the chairs, even the pots, the plants that you see.
Yeah.
So,
something that in that film, that moment, I'll tell you, through your entire career, you'll have so many more decades of success, but you will always remember that moment and that film. It'll be one of your many iconic moments, always and inevitably.
And I completely agree with you, sir. I concede to the fact that whatever I have today, a lot of it is because of 12th Feb.
Well done, well done. Well done to Vidhu also for that, you know.
Yes.
It is just beautiful. And everybody relates to that moment.
Everybody relates.
I also, when I was watching the film, I was also asking, did I have a moment when I got something unexpected? And everybody has a moment.
And
like I remember after I passed out of college, when I finished my third year, and I had 3-4 tracks. One was a UPSC track because I was in Hindu college. One was Delhi School of Economics, which was like what would be my parking lot for doing my MA and doing UPSC. And the third was never even expected that I had put an application for many scholarships. And I had been rejected for every one of them. Once I went to St. Stephen's, where they were putting up outside the roads scholarship center, they're putting up the people selected to go to Oxford on scholarship. And I saw my name there. And it was 6 of us. I thought this is a typo. I was a typo. I went inside, I asked. They said, yeah, you've got it. Tomorrow they'll give it to you formally. Then I said, it is still impossible. Next day when I went in, got it. And I had a letter with the scholarship offer. Can you imagine going abroad, never been abroad, never thought of going abroad, soch bhi nahi sakte. I remember coming out of St. Stephen's College with this letter. And I didn't know whether to shout, whether to run to Hindu College Hostel, whether to proclaim, whether to scream. So I remember getting on a rickshaw. For me, the biggest luxury was getting on a rickshaw. Rickshaw wala bolta hai, kahan jana hai? We never take rickshaws in there, na? For me, it is like, मैं रिक्शा में जाऊंगा आज मुझे स्कॉलरशिप मिली है रिक्शा में कहाँ जाएंगे सर चलो K-Nags चलो I remember K-Nags was कमला नगर I think तो मार्केट थे आज मिल्क शेक पीऊंगा मैं वहाँ पे But it is always everybody has a moment, you know, कि यार ये मेरे को undermine किया था ये देखो मैं भी कुछ हूँ, you know. So I think that was the great thing about your film.
Yes, and I also really had that experience, right? And I know about your story that from, and if you would be happy to share this with you, what is a Shaktiman truck?
What is a Shaktiman truck?
You want to talk about
Shaktiman truck is the greatest marvel in locomotion, where when all the army kids. And if you were watching, all the army kids will remember Shaktiman truck was a truck in which all army kids would sit. It is a 1960s model army lorry 3-tonner truck in which they would be covered with tarpaulin, in which 40, 50, 70, 100 army kids would sit with their tiffin box and their bags and go to school. So anyway, tells me what AQI I was telling you. I said, what AQI, man? When it's 4 degrees in Delhi and a Shaktiman truck with the wind blowing in your face, there's no AQI. But ye hai abhi ek baat batao. Aage kya karna hai? Like I always have this thought that continuity must not be stagnancy.
Yes.
Innovation is internal to you. You have to have a target.
What we do as actors is internal.
So what is for you an achievement? Is it an Oscar? Is it being a legendary actor at the age of 70, looking back and saying that you did the greatest films? Is it modeling your career on somebody else's? Do you have a role model in mind? Or is it working with that one director? Globally or otherwise, or that one big break, you know. So I think define that for me. Where do you head towards?
It's a mix of all these things. Where I am today,
because you're only 38.
I'm just 38. Yeah, God's been very, very gracious. Yes. I mean, there's a bit of everything that you spoke of.
Okay.
I want to do all of it. I definitely have idols. There are people I've looked up to when I started off my career, and I continue to look up to them. We spoke of great Irfan Saab. He's someone that I really look up to. Amir Khan is another actor that I really, really look up to. Yes, I want to take India to the global stage. I want to go out there. But is an Oscar my greatest validation? I wouldn't say so. No. But do I want to take Indian cinema to the Oscars? Why not? Because we have the skill sets.
Yeah.
We have all the requisite things one needs to take Indian cinema on the global stage.
Yeah.
And I want to produce, I want to direct, I want to write. I'm a closet writer.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe
short stories, long stories,
long formats, feature formats. I write feature scripts. I have a couple of them ready with me, and I don't know when I'll probably be confident enough to share it with the world. There are directors I want to work with. There are stories that I want to see as an actor.
Yeah.
There are so many more 12th fail-like stories that I want to sort of bring out. So the privilege that you have as an actor today, and the kind of love and adulation and respect an actor gets today, I think it's truly a blessing.
Yeah.
And today, if I have that platform with me, if I can go out there and represent the common man, or be the voice for the voiceless.
But you want your career in cinema.
Absolutely.
You don't, sorry, even blunt question, you don't want to fight an election.
Fighting an election?
You don't want to be in politics because so many
never
actors...
say never. No? Never say never. I wouldn't say no, because there are days when I feel that I could contribute in that sector too.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are days...
I like your candor. It's good. In what way?
I mean, I think I can contribute in some way or the other. I haven't given it a very serious thought, but there are days when the Indian within me is not really happy with things that are happening around. And maybe I can just go out there and probably contribute with whatever little capacity I have. It may be my naivety right now, maybe the young blood within me which is speaking.
But you're not afraid of being judged?
No.
When you did Sabarmati report,
yeah,
and the cabinet watched,
yeah,
right? I supported the film, by the way, on the sidelines. I did shows on it because I felt that there was so much injustice to the storytelling, which is always one-sided, and there has to be balance in everything, right? But when you did that, apart from the positives, you had trolls also going after you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you handle that? What was the kind of trolling you got?
See, more than trolling, I got threats.
Threats?
Yes. And
what kind?
I mean, life threats. I still have those messages with me, social media messages. My number was put out. My WhatsApp was easily accessible to people.
Yeah.
There were people who knew my home address. There were people who knew my car numbers, my number plates.
They were put out.
And yeah, and I mean, there was so much happening back then. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. You really cannot. Firstly, you can't go out there and please everyone.
You can't.
Right. And I would want to believe that I'm not a people pleaser. I am someone who will go out there and speak my mind.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the fact whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And that is what I've been raised to be. That is what I am self-taught myself, or I've learned through my experiences in life. And yeah, so I'm very proud of Sabarmati. I'm very happy with what, not really entirely happy with what ended up becoming of the film, but I'm very happy with the fact that a few good people got together wanting to tell the story which should have been told 22 years ago, 23 now.
And many people may have appreciated you
a lot of
in
people
different
did.
ways over the years.
Absolutely, a lot of people did.
I'm saying over the years, whose appreciation has mattered the most? Which is that moment? You know, we had Ricky Cage on this program. Ricky Cage, Grammy Award winner, great performer. And he said after he got the Padma Shri, he says the Prime Minister was there with all the Padma recipients. And he says, Modi ji. Prime Minister come to her, Ricky mera beta hai. She says that, you know, that can be the greatest satisfaction a mother's genuine pride about for her son. For you, whose appreciation matters the most to you?
I think the audiences.
Audiences?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't be foolish enough.
Do you sit among the audience to watch your films?
I do.
Did you watch 12th Fail audiences?
I watched
They knew you were sitting next to me.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और मसाला। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार।
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Let's get started with the top stories of the day that we have been tracking for you. Bangladesh out of T20 World Cup. It's shown the door by the ICC. Scotland to replace Bangladesh in the T20 World Cup to be held in India. After Republic exposed in After Republic exposed infiltration camp in Hyderabad, Hindu groups staged protests calling for deportation of illegal migrants in the state. Right, viewers, let's start with the top story that we are tracking for you today. Well, Bangladesh has been shown the door, and how. It was given a 24-hour ultimatum by the ICC to be in or out of the World Cup. Now, it chose to stay out of it. So Scotland has come and, in fact, replaced Bangladesh. ICC has officially now announced that the Bangladesh Cricket Board it has communicated to the Bangladesh board that Bangladesh team has been replaced by Scotland in the upcoming T20 World Cup after they refused to travel to India, citing security concerns following the ouster of Bangladesh pacer Mustafizur Rahman from IPL team Kolkata. My colleague Himanshu joins us on the broadcast for more. Now, Himanshu, this really it's not going to augur well for Bangladesh, isn't it? It's trying to be Pakistan. Everybody knows what Pakistan reputation is. And now ICC has actually shown them what it really takes. It takes nothing but a team to be replaced by Scotland. The associate nation team is now part of the T20 World Cup. And their grandstanding has no impact.
Pakistan is trying to play a big brother to Bangladesh. This is irony. It's mother of all ironies. Pakistan was the only country that voted in favor of Bangladesh, and 14 others voted against them. So that is the reason why ICC has taken a decision to bring in Scotland. Now imagine from the days of Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus and the great Imran Khan, Pakistan is talking about being unfair. Unfair is the word that they have used against ICC. Now what is unfair? I will tell you, Rakshita. Putting Imran Khan, the 1992 World Cup cricket captain, in jail is unfair. When Sri Lankan cricketers were airlifted from the Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium when there was a terror strike, that was unfair. And today when Mohsin Naqvi says that when Shehbaz Sharif returns from a presence in the peace board that Trump had called in Davos, so once he returns from there, they will take a call on whether they want to participate in ICC World T20 or not. I am telling you, they are going to make more harakiri of themselves, nothing more.
Right, and the fact that it starts from the IPL controversy, and the laughable point is that it is about Hindus and anti-India campaign, anti-Hindu campaign and anti-India campaign, threatening the lives of Hindus. What is happening with Hindus day in and day out in Bangladesh has been the cause of this boycott against Mustafizur Rahman, that is IPL, which comes under the BCCI. Yes. Now Bangladesh coming in saying that Bangladeshis are under threat. I mean, this is something that actually holds no ground. It's laughable for the world.
I haven't heard a pathetic joke than that Bangladesh are actually concerned about the security. Security, when the International Cricket Council has a security assessment team, they cleared India on all grounds. The format of the tournament is such, Rakshita, that if India and Pakistan, if they both qualify for the World Cup, the final venue will be in Sri Lanka. So India and Sri Lanka are jointly hosting that, and all Bangladesh matches were supposed to be in India. And they saying that they are probably not pretty sure about that tells you that there is a political decision. cricket and politics cannot be separated here, and Bangladesh has taken a political decision to not to play in India, and that is going to cost them. Probably Aminul Islam and the entire Bangladesh board and Muhammad Yunus regime will probably learn this later, that what are the financial implications of it. But as of now, they are just making a mockery of themselves, nothing more.
In fact, what we are getting to know is that Naqvi is also now trying to, insinuate something like that. Pakistan is trying to cry foul and saying that we will also follow suit. But we all know what Pakistan has done. They had to silently, come to India, play the T20 World Cup in 2023. They've tried to do this crying foul every time. We won't play. We want to play in UAE only. We don't want to play in India. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So I think Bangladesh should also understand who they are following, isn't it?
Look, they're trying to use a technical thing there where in the ICC rules, India and Pakistan are not playing in India. So that basically the matches have been shifted to the neutral venue. But that was before the tournament schedule was drawn. So Bangladesh they have come up with this objection post the schedule was revealed. And after that, if you want to make such changes on political ground, then you will have to pay a political price for it. So they are not ready to do that. So they somehow want their matches to be shifted to Sri Lanka. India, meanwhile, I think BCCI this time is not going to buzz. They have clearly said no to that request. And I think they have done the right, they have taken a right call, Rakshita.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, thank you so much, Himanshu, for joining us with those details coming in on that story. Viewers, in fact, we've seen, viewers, that how even Pakistan Cricket Board is also trying to show that it is waiting for its governments now, but we do know that it's not going to hold any weight. But thank you so much for joining us with those details, Himanshu. Meanwhile, shifting focus to the other stories, this is from Nampally that is coming. It's a massive fire that has broken out at a furniture shop located at the Chirap Gully line in Nampally. That has triggered panic in the area. Fire reportedly started on the ground floor of a 4-story building, quickly spread upward, flames raging intensely for several hours. Fire and rescue personnel rushed to the spot immediately, began firefighting operations, and as many as 25 fire engines were pressed into service to bring the blaze under control. Thick smoke and high flames made rescue efforts challenging. And according to preliminary information, 2 children are also in fact, have been injured. They are inside the building. They were inside the building at the time of this incident. That raises serious concerns. Firefighters continue rescue and search operations amid the heavy smoke. Hyderabad Police Commissioner V.C. Sajjanar, IPS, has reached the site, closely monitoring the situation, directing officials to take all necessary measures to control the fire and ensure the safety of those trapped inside. As we told you, that at least 2 children are also believed to be there inside. Further details regarding the casualties, the cause of the fire are awaited. But you can see the firefighting efforts were underway at the shop in Nampally. Well, are the visuals from the site in Hyderabad. This is Nampally of Hyderabad. All right, viewers. Meanwhile, we'll shift our focus now to the other stories making news from across the country. This is Bharat in a minute. CBI-led special investigation team has concluded its probe into the Tirumala-Tirupati Devasthanam Laddu ghee adulteration case and filed the final charge sheet before the ACB court. A total of 36 persons have been named as the accused. 9 of them were arrested earlier, of whom 6 have been granted bail. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju has called an all-party meeting at 11 a.m. on the 27th of January to discuss key national issues and legislative business ahead of the budget session. Building on the momentum of Wonder Woman initiative, Himalaya Wellness unveils the Wonder Woman Academy in line with National Girl Child Day, a platform designed to bridge the gap between young girls and the women cricketers they admire and look up to. The Noida Techie case, the death case, is now actually gripping all the citizens, and it has created shockwaves. And what is under lens is the sheer negligence, the sheer apathy for the common man's life. There are new updates coming in. Today, a new video, a fresh video has emerged. 44-second video has emerged in which a young man is seen giving a live account, narrating the account post the incident as he was witnessing the rescue efforts. And he is, of course, very much disappointed by the rescue efforts. If you listen to his commentary, the young man describes how the victim died right there and there was no help that was available to him in time. Despite having resources, his life could not be saved. Take a look.
Progress for the people. A people's campaign that we hope will bring justice to Noida Techie Yuvraj Mehta. A week after his demise, more videos have emerged that reconfirm a massive cover-up. A 1-minute 44-second video has emerged which shows the negligence of rescue teams.
प्रशासन और ये सब लोग, एम्बुलेंस है लेकिन पुलिस है और सब है, ये अभी तक देखो मतलब वो लड़का जो है डूब चुका है हमारे आँखों के सामने, तड़प तड़प के वो डूबा है लेकिन ये उसको बचा नहीं पाए। लगभग 11:45 11:50 का टाइम होगा तब वो गाड़ी कूदी थी और मैं यहाँ पे पहुँचा 12 बजे, तो तब तक यहाँ पे पुलिस की गाड़ी थी। बस मैं आया तो देखो ये प्रशासन और सब प्रशासन है यहाँ पर अपनी फॉर्मेलिटी पूरे कर रहे हैं देव पर। अबे वो डूब चुका है। हमारे दोस्त है एक मौनी, वो हमें पता नहीं था क्या है क्या नहीं है, तो हमें पता नहीं था कि उसको तैरना आता है, बट वो कूदा गया तैरने लेकिन उसे मिला नहीं, वो डूब चुका था हमारे सामने, वो डूब चुका था, वो तड़प तड़प के डूबा, उसने दम तोड़ा। उससे पहले लाइट दिखा रहा था, खड़ा था, हमारे करीब था बहुत, लेकिन ये कोई उसे बचा नहीं पाया। देखो भाई ये ज़िंदगी है, ऐसे थोड़ा संभल के, ये बहुत अनमोल है। आज मैंने देखा कि उसकी जान मेरी आंखों के सामने कैसे गई। कुछ नहीं है जान जाने में, जमाना सिर्फ बातें बनाता है एक बहाने में।
The young man said that despite having resources, the Noida Techie's life could not be saved. In the video, the young man alleged that the police, ambulance and fire personnel were present at the scene, yet the young man drowned right in front of them, struggling for his life. So the question now is unavoidable. How did a young man drown to death despite police, ambulance and the fire teams being present on the spot? Where did the rescue fail and who will be taking responsibility? Republic has been tracking this case from day one, confronting everyone, amplifying the voice of the people, and we will continue to demand accountability until justice is delivered for Yuvraj.
And now shifting focus to what happened at the Punjab railway track. This is the Amritsar to Delhi line where an explosion damaged the tracks. And my colleague Lalit has reported from this side, also spoken to the police. The loco pilot of that freight train has also been injured in this explosion. Take a look.
An explosion has been reported on a late Friday night on a railway line in Sirhind, Fatehgarh Sahib in Punjab. Consequently, a freight train engine was damaged and the driver was injured.
The railway track has been damaged and this is the rod of cement which can also be seen shattered after the blast. If you talk about the agencies in this, these central agencies have stepped in, which includes the NIA and the local police and the railway police force who are investigating this matter. Luckily, no one has been killed in this blast, while no major property loss has been reported. Till now, if you talk about the investigation, the forensic teams have already collected the samples and scientifically they are further investigating this whole matter. From the past 1.5 months, there has been number of threat calls which have been received all across Punjab.
Panic gripped the area after the blast, prompting immediate action on part of railway authorities and senior police, who swiftly reached the site, cordoned off the area and launched a joint investigation.
ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਈਨਰ ਬਲਾਸਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੋ ਉਸ ਬਲਾਸਟ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਮੁਸਤੈਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਐਕਟਿਵਲੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਰਾਤ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਟੀਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਈਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਇੰਟਰ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਾਕੀ ਏਜੰਸੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਾਈਜ਼ਡ ਟੀਮਾਂ ਭੇਜੀਆਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ
All of this as Punjab is currently on red alert as a precautionary measure ahead of the Republic Day. In the past week itself, police have interrupted several terror operations, seized arms and explosives, and increased monitoring.
And Donald Trump, after attending the World Economic Forum at Davos, dropped a bombshell stating that a lot of US ships are going in the direction of what they call the Middle East and that's West Asia. Following this statement by Trump, Iran also issued a direct threat saying that Iran will treat any attack as an all-out war against the state and respond in the hardest way possible. That's the warning coming in from Iran. Here's a report on that.
Death toll in Iran's crackdown on protesters has crossed 5,000. And Donald Trump is raising the stakes amid the chaos. After returning from World Economic Forum meet, Trump dropped a bombshell. He said an American armada is heading towards the Middle East. US officials say aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln and several guided missile destroyers will arrive in Middle East in coming days.
We have a big force going toward Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely. I stopped 837 hangings on Thursday. They would have been dead. Every one of them would have been hung. This is like from 1,000 years ago. This is an ancient culture. Very smart people, by the way, but it's an ancient culture. 837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it. They canceled it. So that was a good sign. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction. And maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
Trump's warning has irked Iran. A senior Iranian official said that country will treat any attack as an all-out war against us, and we will respond in the hardest way possible. Reports suggest additional air defense systems are being deployed around US and Israeli air bases. UK, at Doha's request, would also send RAF Eurofighter Typhoon jets from 12th Squadron to Qatar. This is not the first ever threat by Donald Trump. About 2 weeks ago, the situation was volatile. Trump had said Iranians should keep up the demonstrations and help is on its way. At the time, Trump was told that Iran had stopped the executions of arrested protesters. But if Trump does decide to launch an attack on Iran, another war front will be opened in the already conflict-ridden Middle East.
The DRDO high-power microwave-directed energy weapon system is an advanced counter-drone technology under development in India. Mounted on a truck platform, it is designed to disable hostile drone swarms by emitting concentrated microwave pulses that disrupt or destroy onboard electronics. Instead of kinetic projectiles, the system achieves a soft kill by interfering with navigation sensors, communication links, and flight controllers, effectively neutralizing multiple aerial threats simultaneously. Here's the report.
India's Defence Research and Development Organization has reached an important milestone in directed energy weapons by developing and recently showing a ground-based high-power microwave system made to stop drone swarms. High-power microwave weapons are part of the larger group of directed energy weapons which send focused energy to damage or disable targets without using bullets or shells. Unlike laser weapons that use tight beams of light to burn through objects, high-power microwave weapons create strong bursts of electromagnetic waves in the microwave range, usually from hundreds of millions to billions of cycles per second. These waves travel as wide or narrow beams and enter electronic equipment through antennas, wires, or openings, creating strong electrical surges that overload and destroy delicate parts like computer chips, sensors, guidance units, and communication devices. The basic way it works involves a powerful energy source that makes short, intense pulses of microwaves. The system needs a strong power supply, often a small generator or battery set that can provide millions of watts at peak, followed by equipment that shapes the energy into very brief bursts lasting billionths of a second, reaching billions of watts. This burst powers a microwave generator, such as a special tube or oscillator, which turns the electricity into radio waves. The waves are then sent out through a directed antenna, often a dish or array that can be aimed by hand or electronically. The beam moves at the speed of light, so targets cannot evade it, and it affects all electronic devices in its area at once, making it very useful against groups of threats like drone swarms. In real use, when aimed at a group of drones, the microwave burst passes through their outer covers and creates currents much higher than their electronics can handle. This causes instant failure of flight controls, navigation systems, and any attached devices, making the drones lose control and fall or stop working without any blast or physical hit. The effect covers an area rather than a single point, so one burst can disable many targets in the beam's path, depending on the antenna design. The cost for each use is very low, mostly just the electricity needed to charge the system, compared to normal anti-drone missiles or guns that use costly ammunition and run out quickly in long fights. DRDO's work on high-power microwave technology started from early research on high-energy particle machines in the last century, which helped create the strong electron beams needed for microwave production. Over many years, the organization improved power control, made devices smaller, and refined beam travel methods to move from lab tests to practical systems. The recent success focuses on a completely Indian-made ground-based system built for quick use in air defense. The setup includes a high-voltage pulse power unit able to deliver peaks in the billions of watts with enough repeat speed for ongoing protection against waves of attacks. The antenna part, placed on a vehicle that can move easily, allows fast positioning and aiming, while cooling equipment handles the heat created during use. Tests have shown reliable results at distances of several kilometers against typical drone targets, with the system stopping electronics across different group patterns. The beam settings allow choices in power and burst length to best handle various threat sizes, from small store-bought drones to larger military ones carrying explosives or cameras. This flexibility meets the rising challenge from cheap drones that enemies can send in large numbers to overpower normal defenses. By fully disabling rather than just shooting down, the system lowers risks from falling pieces of destroyed targets. The design stresses easy parts replacement with separate sections for power creation, microwave making, and beam aiming that can be fixed or improved on their own. Connection to current radar systems allows automatic targeting, where detection radars spot incoming threats and pass the information to the microwave platform for quick action. Planned improvements aim for longer range up to 5 kilometers by the end of 2026 through better efficiency and antenna strength, along with faster repeat rates for thicker swarms. This development makes the system a key part of layered defense, working alongside normal interceptors and laser weapons in a complete plan against unmanned aircraft. It offers almost unlimited uses, limited only by power supply, quiet operation without flash or kick, and precise electronic effects that leave no chemical traces or unused explosives. The success shows steady funding in basic areas like pulse power electronics, vacuum equipment, and wave modeling, solving issues like wave loss in bad weather and the need for strong protection to keep friendly equipment safe from reflected energy. Overall, the ground-based high-power microwave-directed energy weapon provides a ready, effective ability that strengthens protection against changing air threats through fast, low-cost and expandable electronic shutdown.
And news coming in from United States of America, where a major fire broke out in the Bronx area of New York City after a reported gas leak. More than 200 fire and emergency crews said to have been sent to the site, and there has been thick plumes of smoke that was seen emanating from the site. Here's more on that.
An explosion broke out in the early hours at a high-rise building in the Bronx area of the New York today. The massive fire was the result of a reported gas leak. FDNY members are reported to be operating at A4 alarm fire at 3485 Bivonia Street in the Bronx. According to sources, residents of the building were seen hanging out of their windows. Aerial photos of the building, which were released, show flames engulfing multiple floors of the high-rise. More than 200 fire and emergency crews rushed to the scene shortly after the thick smoke engulfed the area. No information about fatalities or injuries has been reported, and an investigation is currently underway.
छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
केसरिया से मन जोगी।
We start with the first chat today, fireside chat, and as AI transitions from pilots to population level deployment, especially when we talk about healthcare, the real challenge lies not just in building intelligent systems, but in ensuring that they are working in harmony with the clinicians, with the patients, with public health ecosystems across diverse geographies. And our next speaker leads this effort across emerging and global markets, overseeing the operationalization of AI-driven healthcare solutions. His work focuses on translating deep tech innovation into outcomes that are clinically relevant, culturally adaptable, and scalable in real-world health systems. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Vicky Nanda, COO of and Head of International Business at Niramai Health Analytics, as he packs the AI's role in India's health stack. He's in conversation with our editor for Business Republic Digital, Mr. Pranav Kulkarni.
To begin with, for all of us, just to understand, Niramai is in fact one of the, I was just going through the profile and I just learned that it's one of the World Economic Forum's top 20 technology pioneers of 2024. So that's a company that's working in healthcare using AI for early cancer detection. Vicky, I just want to get started and understand from you, how did this journey actually begin?
First of all, thank you. Niramai, I would like to just quickly touch upon Niramai. So the expansion is like non-invasive risk assessment by machine and artificial intelligence. Actually, the journey began with the founder, Dr. Geeta Manjunath. She's a computer scientist, PhD in AI. She was a lab director at Xerox. She has worked earlier with HP, handling teams of data science, building AI models for healthcare. Now, back then in 2013, she suffered a setback by losing one of her sister-in-law due to breast cancer. Now, that changed everything for her because she saw there were like 2 young kids, and sister-in-law was like just under 40. So she was completely shattered. By the time she was recovering from this incident, there was another incident on the husband's side, again, a young death due to breast cancer. So she quit her job and took this as a research project, Niramai. And she never thought that this could be a potential opportunity back then, right? So here we are, Niramai. Today, we are an AI medical device company. We are a ISO 13485, ISO 27001 certified. Quality management systems are established. We are also GDPR compliant. In India, DPDP Act, which is for data privacy, we are compliant with that act as well. It is CDSO registered as well as made in India, which is an important part. So that's Niramai for you.
Okay. One of the, Vicky, one of the challenges, so to say, while AI on one side facilitates early healthcare or early diagnosis, trust could be one of the issues in terms of depending on AI systems for your own health. Is that a challenge? How did you overcome that? What were some of the initial issues or challenges that you faced while working on this concept?
I think this is a very important point because whenever in our life we become sick, we go to a doctor, we trust a doctor. Now, we are saying trust a machine. Okay. So we need to understand, certain things here, how the machines are built, and also how the doctors are trained. Now, doctors are also trained on certain academic pathway when they look at images, when they look at tests, and then they use their training to talk about the clinical outcomes. So same way, the machines are built on a trained model so that you can trust the machines. But before you start trusting the machines, clinicians will expect some kind of validation on those machine learning programs. Now, these validation becomes the starting point for clinicians to trust, because ultimately clinicians are going to use it. Because AI with doctor is the perfect, intelligence. No one can be standalone. The kind of innovation is happening today. So what are these validations? These validations are basically primarily if you are able to prove the accuracy of the test, the new innovative test, with some of the existing technologies. For example, in our case, we have built an AI medical device for breast cancer detection. Now, the traditional technologies are mammograms, ultrasound, and confirmation biopsy, right? So we have to go through a rigorous kind of testing and validation to be done across these three technologies before you can actually say, publish a report in a scientific journal to tell the doctor that here are the sensitivities and specificity of a new device which is actually performing at par and at certain areas better than traditional technologies.
Okay.
So those validations gives confidence, Pranab.
But then what's the difference between conventional technologies and AI-driven technology? And could you talk, if you could give us an example of where you've actually implemented it?
Traditional technologies like mammograms are X-ray based technologies. And then there are certain costs which is given that these technologies carry. Now, innovative technologies obviously look for opportunities where there are certain gaps. For example, can traditional technologies do screenings for women at a younger age group? Can we address this market? Now, can we make it more cost effective? Can it be a tool where it can be used by every woman on the earth? So those are the fundamentals we keep in mind when we are developing these technologies. Now, just to highlight a little bit more, Niramai technology is basically a non-radiation based technology. It's a thermal based technology. In our technology, what happens is that we are not looking at analyzing the images. When you are looking at cancer detection, you are looking at images, you are looking at analyzing those images, interpreting those images, and then providing clinical outcomes to the doctor so that next line of treatment or next line of testing can be decided by the clinician. Now, what AI can do is actually can do it faster, can do it with less error, and can actually support the doctor by focusing on high-risk patients. So these are, some of the fundamentals AI can bring in and our technologies can bring in to make early detection possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were mentioning you carried out tests on about 15,000 women. Can you just tell us what exactly was that project about?
Yeah, so it's very important, like companies like us, like we are just pioneers in this AI, very early ones to bring the AI in the real world. Now, what does that mean? It means taking the AI where it matters the most. Like we have urban areas where we have like doctors available, machines available, access is there, quality healthcare is available. Okay, but what if we go to a district level and go to, let's say, at taluka level and at a village level? Now, when we have to go really at the rural level, primary level, this is where AI can play a role. And I would like to share that experience where we have actually implemented this AI at, primary level, screened about 15,000 women with just one device over a period of 12 months across 89 locations in 323 facilities. 15,000 women were touched, screened, tested. 450 were found screening positive, out of which 50% went for radiological diagnosis. 27 cancers were treated. it's a perfect example how AI can actually be implemented on ground in rural areas where there is no doctor. So AI can actually play a role of triaging, identifying the high suspect cases, and then bring that suspect cases through healthcare programs to the district hospital for diagnosis and treatment.
Okay. How does a common man access it? I mean, for example, if I want to, go to a laboratory and get this conducted right now on my family members, for instance, what is the penetration like? Where is this test available? Do we have that kind of availability of this particular technology near all of us, wherever we are?
Correct. I think it's a very important question, how these new technologies are coming, both in private and, let's say, rural setting. I think as far as rural is concerned, definitely we need a government push so that they can adopt these AI technologies and make it available for every woman. So that it should not be a question for a woman to travel to big cities, big hospitals. But when it comes to private, I think it is also important that clinicians look at these validation studies. Today we are present in 200 plus hospitals across south, west, and north. Now these are important, but is that a number that I'm looking at? No, probably would like to be there in 10,000 plus hospitals, or maybe in all the hospitals, because that's the scope of the technology. It can be cost effective even for a diagnostic center to afford this. So that is where we would like to aim for, to be available at all the places so that women can access it in the neighborhood.
Okay. Vicky, one of the challenges in healthcare sector is the cost, one. And second, acceptance of these technologies by insurance companies. Because whenever an individual, a common man, goes to a hospital, what he or she is bothered about is the cost, and insurance companies need to accept these technologies or these results or tests as valid. What is the response that you've got from insurance companies on AI for preventive healthcare?
So I think it is a very important question, because when it comes to AI, one side is patient, then there is clinician, and then there are hospital administration and claims. It has to be integrated, right? So it is very important. Now, as far as cost is concerned, cost is, let me talk about Niramai. Our innovation has brought down the cost to 1/10 of what a traditional technology may cost for a deployment. Now, that is one side of it. So the cost is 1/10, but the accuracy is also higher than 30%.
Okay.
So you look at the overall impact innovation can bring. And second part is on, how insurance can accept this. So clinicians play a very important role, because they will look at these validation studies and try to include this into their daily testing. However, today, insurance and clinicians today are seeing this as a wellness, preventive screening point of view, so that they can actually provide, support from insurance side to claim these tests from insurance company as a reimbursement. So a lot of employee wellness programs are sponsored by insurance companies. A lot of these preventives are reimbursed by the insurance companies. Definitely, I would like this to grow from here to hospitals where diagnostic screenings can also be reimbursed by insurance companies. That's the aim. That is something we would like to aim as a new innovative technology.
Okay. Going forward over the next 5 years, if I really have to ask you about acceptance of AI in healthcare for trusting, for detection of illness or serious diseases, so to say, what do you think next 5 years look like?
It's a very important question. I don't know whether I will be able to answer that question, but yeah, I will try to attempt that.
In terms of need as well as probably from, acceptance.
Yeah, sure. I was talking to one gentleman here. So AI is actually, if you look at AI, we need to look at AI along with the doctor, as I said initially also. And when it comes to AI at rural areas, maybe AI can play a role, as a standalone. But together, it can play a very, big role. One, for the faster detection purposes. So I see a role of an AI coming into the system, not as a standalone player, but as an integrated intelligence layer for all the stakeholders, so that every woman today can access this test. That is the aim. If that can happen in fast track in next 5 years, I think that is awesome. Be it any technology, I'm not specifically talking about breast cancer detection, maybe other technologies which are also looking at some of these public issues, health issues, whether it is TB, whether it is others. But definitely when it comes to cancer, oral, breast and cervical are the main cancers which government also focuses upon, and they are building on AI mission around these cancers. So it is very important that these technologies should be made available in the neighborhood. Next 5 years are important, definitely, Pranab.
Okay. Do you think doctors as well as laboratories have accepted the technology? What have you faced any challenges in terms of convincing people or convincing laboratories or doctors to accept this as the new form of detection?
Correct. I think if we look at the macro numbers here, that is very important because today, just on the breast cancer detection subject perspective, we have only 1% women in India taking test. Only 1% women. Now, what is the outcome of that? The outcome today is 96% of the women reaches tertiary care in late stages, which is stage 3 and 4, leading to late detection. Now, this late detection has huge impact. One is, of course, on the quality of life, mortality, and then, there is a economic loss of life years. So all these impact not only to the family, but also to the governments. So it is important that, we focus on these technologies, bring that into care, and tell the clinicians that the use of the technology is for initial assessment, especially in primary screenings before they develop the confidence to move into the diagnostic screenings. AI on radiology, we are hearing about it, but some of the primary screenings that we are focusing on, I think it should be allowed, it should be grown so that more and more people participate in primary screening so that early detection can be made possible.
That brings me to the very theme of this summit, and that's we are looking at India's AI leap. I mean, cracking the India code. When we look at India as a global player, where are we placed in terms of AI for early detection against global competitors, against the West, for example?
I think there is a lot of growing demand for such innovative technologies. We ourselves are seeing this demand, Pranab. We started our international business a couple of years back. Very proud and happy to say that we are present now providing this technology in 20 plus countries, actually. And again, we are seeing demand coming in from most of other regions. I'm specifically talking about all the regions, right from Asia to Middle East to African region, as well as Latin America, US, Europe. There are different challenges in each of these countries. If we can divide this into developed countries and developing countries, you see developed countries have different problems when it comes to screening programs. And developing nations have other problems, very similar to India, that participation is very low. Just very similar, like 1%, 2% women taking up the test in low and middle income countries, whereas in developed countries, 60 to 70% women takes test. But there the problems are different, the challenges are different. Now, challenges could be with respect to technical challenges when it comes to with respect to devices, with respect to crowd management, with respect to opting out of the screening programs because they don't like specific test. For example, in mammograms, I was reading one of the article in one of the West that women said, I don't want to continue with preventive screening with mammogram because it is not comfortable. It's radiation based, right? Whereas in our test, it is completely non-invasive, no touch, no see, no radiation. So there are different use cases which are developing in different, parts of the world in terms of, a growing demand for our products. And again, made in India.
Wonderful. Vicky, thank you very much. It's a pioneering technology, and I wish you all the best for this made in India product that you are, in fact, and the most important fact is the critical need in the sector that you're catering to. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Pranab. Thank you.
heaviest snowfall in the last 1 decade has taken place in almost all parts of Jammu and Kashmir. With the low-lying areas of Jammu also receiving the snowfall, the life has become a standstill. Right now we are reporting from the Poonch district, where the snow has covered the entire area. This is the Poonch Mandi road, where you will only see the layer of snow that has completely taken over. This is the first snowfall of the season that has taken place, and it has completely engulfed this entire area. Whether it is mountains, trees, bridges, roads or the houses, everything is under the grip of the snow that has taken place. It's for the first time in last 1 decade that the Poonch town has also received this heavy magnitude of snowfall, as the life has become standstill. The avalanche warning that has been issued by the weather department, keeping that in view, the road traffic has also been halted. The Jammu has completely been connected with the Poonch, as the Bhimber Gully road that has also come to a standstill with the vehicles not moving to and fro. So this kind of a heavy snowfall has taken place, and after the advisory that has been issued by the weather department, the police has ensured that there is no movement of the vehicles on the road. Right now the road from where we are reporting from, this is the Poonch Mandi road, and here you will see that there is no vehicle on the road. Only we were allowed to travel to show that what kind of a situation is. Otherwise there are rarely any vehicle movement except some medical emergencies that are being allowed. And also the weather forecast say that 26 and 27 it is going to be a similar kind of a havoc that is going to take place. It is going to be a similar magnitude rainfall and snowfall that is going to take place. So the authorities have decided that the schools will also remain closed at least for the days that the snow is taking place.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। राजा और मसाला।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't stopped it. No, he debanked me. So we'll see if that beeps anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanked. Get debanked if you don't have money or if you're bald and you have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County.
DRDO high-power microwave directed energy weapon system is an advanced counter-drone technology under development in India. Mounted on a truck platform, it is designed to disable hostile drone swarms by emitting concentrated microwave pulses that disrupt or destroy onboard electronics. Instead of kinetic projectiles, the system achieves a soft kill by interfering with navigation sensors, communication links, and flight controllers, effectively neutralizing multiple aerial threats simultaneously. Here's the report.
India's Defence Research and Development Organization has reached an important milestone in directed energy weapons by developing and recently showing a ground-based high-power microwave system made to stop drone swarms. High-power microwave weapons are part of the larger group of directed energy weapons which send focused energy to damage or disable targets without using bullets or shells. Unlike laser weapons that use tight beams of light to burn through objects, high-power microwave weapons create strong bursts of electromagnetic waves in the microwave range, usually from hundreds of millions to billions of cycles per second. These waves travel as wide or narrow beams and enter electronic equipment through antennas, wires, or openings, creating strong electrical surges that overload and destroy delicate parts like computer chips, sensors, guidance units, and communication devices. The basic way it works involves a powerful energy source that makes short, intense pulses of microwaves. The system needs a strong power supply, often a small generator or battery set that can provide millions of watts at peak, followed by equipment that shapes the energy into very brief bursts lasting billionths of a second, reaching billions of watts. This burst powers a microwave generator, such as a special tube or oscillator, which turns the electricity into radio waves. The waves are then sent out through a directed antenna, often a dish or array that can be aimed by hand or electronically. The beam moves at the speed of light, so targets cannot evade it, and it affects all electronic devices in its area at once, making it very useful against groups of threats like drone swarms. In real use, when aimed at a group of drones, the microwave burst passes through their outer covers and creates currents much higher than their electronics can handle. This causes instant failure of flight controls, navigation systems, and any attached devices, making the drones lose control and fall or stop working without any blast or physical hit. The effect covers an area rather than a single point, so one burst can disable many targets in the beam's path, depending on the antenna design. The cost for each use is very low, mostly just the electricity needed to charge the system, compared to normal anti-drone missiles or guns that use costly ammunition and run out quickly in long fights. DRDO's work on high-power microwave technology started from early research on high-energy particle machines in the last century, which helped create the strong electron beams needed for microwave production. Over many years, the organization improved power control, made devices smaller, and refined beam travel methods to move from lab tests to practical systems. The recent success focuses on a completely Indian-made ground-based system built for quick use in air defense. The setup includes a high-voltage pulse power unit able to deliver peaks in the billions of watts with enough repeat speed for ongoing protection against waves of attacks. The antenna part, placed on a vehicle that can move easily, allows fast positioning and aiming, while cooling equipment handles the heat created during use. Tests have shown reliable results at distances of several kilometers against typical drone targets, with the system stopping electronics across different group patterns. The beam settings allow choices in power and burst length to best handle various threat sizes, from small store-bought drones to larger military ones carrying explosives or cameras. This flexibility meets the rising challenge from cheap drones that enemies can send in large numbers to overpower normal defenses. By fully disabling rather than just shooting down, the system lowers risks from falling pieces of destroyed targets. The design stresses easy parts replacement with separate sections for power creation, microwave making, and beam aiming that can be fixed or improved on their own. Connection to current radar systems allows automatic targeting, where detection radars spot incoming threats and pass the information to the microwave platform for quick action. Planned improvements aim for longer range up to 5 kilometers by the end of 2026 through better efficiency and antenna strength, along with faster repeat rates for thicker swarms. This development makes the system a key part of layered defense, working alongside normal interceptors and laser weapons in a complete plan against unmanned aircraft. It offers almost unlimited uses, limited only by power supply, quiet operation without flash or kick, and precise electronic effects that leave no chemical traces or unused explosives. The success shows steady funding in basic areas like pulse power electronics, vacuum equipment, and wave modeling, solving issues like wave loss in bad weather and the need for strong protection to keep friendly equipment safe from reflected energy. Overall, the ground-based high-power microwave-directed energy weapon provides a ready, effective ability that strengthens protection against changing air threats through fast, low-cost and expandable electronic shutdown.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the long form story with me, Shavan Sen, your weekend show that goes beyond the headlines. On the long form story, we bring to you 5 stories that cover the essence of what has really happened through the week. Our story number 1, the world basically watched as leaders gathered in Davos at the World Economic Forum amid rising global tensions, diplomacy, peace initiative and power plays collided. From the US-Russia-Ukraine trilateral talks to Donald Trump's surprising pivot on Greenland, the summit revealed the shifting contours of the new world order and the fragile path to peace. Story number 2 comes in from Varanasi, where faith met controversy. Viral videos showing alleged destruction at the sacred Manikarnika Ghat set off a storm of outrage. Accusations of sacrilege, police FIRs and political battles followed, even as officials clarified that many visuals were misleading or even manipulated. Story number 3 comes in from Madhya Pradesh. Indhar, centuries of devotion and conflict converged as Basant Panchami coincided with Friday namaz prayers at the historic Bhoshala Kamal Maula complex, highlighting how heritage and faith remain deeply intertwined. Story number 4 comes in from Manipur, where horror struck when 38-year-old Rishi Kanta was abducted and killed while the cameras rolled. Families on the street. Grief that spilled onto the streets, and the National Investigation Agency has now taken over as questions about law and order and justice looms large. Finally, coming in, a special Republic investigative story. Kerala's Kasaragod district reveals a dark undercurrent of radicalization. Young women are missing, families shattered, and disturbing allegations of love jihad emerge. Investigations suggest forced conversions, indoctrination, and extremist recruitment linked to banned outfits. 5 stories, 5 urgent questions. We bring you the facts, the voices, and the outrage, and show you why none of these stories can be ignored. The World Economic Forum this year around oscillated between escalating tensions and world leaders navigating what's next in the era of a world order that needs restructuring. From strengthening sovereignty, building resilient coalitions, and investing in capacities for the future, Davos essentially bore witness to key international conversations that paved the way to the new world order. This edition of the World Economic Forum also saw the induction of the Board of Peace initiative of US President Donald Trump over establishing peace in the Israel-struck Gaza. And in the aftermath of this summit and the global call for peace, US, Russia and Ukraine hold trilateral talks to bring in peace after years of Russia-Ukraine conflict. And in response to the growing global tension of Trump's threats of tariffs as he eyed and aimed to usurp Greenland, this summit also saw Donald Trump after his stance on the Greenland conquering aspirations. Here's a detailed insight into all these developments and more in this report for the long form story.
As the
political and business whirlwind at the World Economic Forum packs up at Davos. Tensions between the US and its European allies, which have long been simmering and now threaten to escalate, are seen to have dominated the yearly gathering in the Swiss Alps resort town. This right at the beginning of this big meet, as he delivered his special address to a packed Congress hall. He at first spoke at length of his wish to see a strong Europe, which is presently not heading in the right direction.
But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon, I want to discuss how we have achieved this economic miracle, how we intend to raise living standards for our citizens to levels never seen before, and perhaps how you too and the places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing, because certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good. But it's not heading in the right direction.
And he changed his stance on Greenland.
We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, where we already had it as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now.
This change of heart did not come without Trump emphasizing on his eyes still being set on Greenland, or what he refers to as Iceland.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember. A strong and secure America means a strong NATO, and that's one reason why I'm working every day to ensure our military is very powerful, our borders are very strong, and above all, our economy is strong, because national security requires economic security and economic prosperity, and we have the greatest that we've ever had.
Trump's previous move to have issued a threat of tariffs over Greenland was majorly critiqued at the meet prior to his change of stance.
Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering. So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic Baltic Gate, to further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground, boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland. and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic.
We're under a lot of pressure. We're 27 countries. And if you're under pressure, two things can happen. If you have outside pressure, you can come together or you can explode in any possible direction. And I think Europe is at a crossroads where it has to decide. Until now, we tried to appease the new president in the White House. We were very lenient, also with the tariffs. We were lenient, hoping to get his support for the Ukraine war. We are in a very bad position at the moment. We're dependent on the United States, so we chose to be lenient. But now so many red lines are being crossed that you have the choice between your self-respect. Being a happy vassal is one thing, being a miserable slave is something else. If you back down now, you're going to lose your dignity. And that's probably the most precious thing you can have in a democracy. It's your dignity. So we should unite. And our king will accompany me at the meeting, but it will have a different character than we had planned. It will probably be the message that we have to send. You're crossing red lines here. We either stand together or we will stand divided. And if we are divided, there is the end of an era of 80 years of Atlantism is really drawing to a close. And, you know, as Gramsci said, if the old is dying and the new is not yet born, you live in a time of monsters. Yeah. And it's up to him to decide if he wants to be a monster, yes or no.
The US president, in the meantime, could not help but go on and mention his intervention and the consequent benefits in the soon-to-end Russia-Ukraine war.
The United Nations should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing it, but it doesn't matter. It's got to get done, saving a lot of lives. We're saving millions of lives. What happens is oftentimes we'll have a deal with Russia. Russia's set, and President Zelensky will not do it. You saw that when he was in the Oval Office. I was not happy. And then we'll have President Zelensky wants to make a deal, and Putin doesn't want to make the deal. It's a very difficult balance, and it's big time, and it is, you know, to use a word, it's a bloodbath. It's horrible what's happening. It's a drone war. The drones are killing, you know, thousands of people a week. Thousands. We have to get it stopped.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky echoed the sentiment of nearing peace as the US, Ukraine and Russia hold trilateral meetings for the same Friday onwards.
About a sequencing plan, how we can bring closer to real negotiations. So we are close with security guarantees. Be honest, the document is ready. We have questions with economic package, but I think 90% it will done. And
when will it be done? What is left?
So we have meetings today, as I said, during the forum, and now American team will have meeting in Moscow. Then tomorrow and the day after tomorrow in Emirates will be trilateral meeting, Ukraine, America and Russia, our negotiating teams.
And then the biggest talking point to have emerged from this meet, Trump's Board of Peace, a body some fear the US president wants to use to sideline the United Nations. Chaired by Trump, the board was originally envisioned as a small group of world leaders overseeing the Gaza ceasefire plan. But the Trump administration's ambitions have since expanded, with Trump extending invitations to dozens of nations and hinting at the board's future role as conflict mediator. On 21st of January, US President Donald Trump promoted his Board of Peace as the greatest board ever assembled.
Because we want everybody, we want all nations where people have control, people have power. That way we're never going to have a problem. This is the greatest board ever assembled. And everybody wants to be on it. But yeah, I have some controversial people on it, but these are people that get the job done. These are people that have tremendous influence. And if I put all babies on the board, it wouldn't be very much. So he was invited, he's accepted. Many people have accepted. I don't know of anybody that hasn't accepted. But it's going to be great. I think the Board of Peace will be the most prestigious board ever, and it's going to get a lot of work done that the United Nations should have done.
This initiative garnered much support by other world leaders who had accepted Trump's invite to be part of this board.
Because of the very complex decision-making procedure that exists in the UN, there are more than just one country that have a veto. This has made things very, very difficult. Now, with this new organization, with the Board of Peace, I am very confident that peace can be carried forward in a much less complex way of decision-making. And as I said, we trust the intentions and we trust the leadership of President Trump, which is to bring peace to the world and to save lives.
I'm very critical about the United Nations. I have made public opinions about this over the last 2 years. So the system was no longer working to solve the problem. So I celebrate that people is now realizing that we need to modify the system and we need to work together in something that works better. They have their own dynamics, of course. They are more focused now on the issue of Greenland. I'm sure that this is letting them very unrest. But I'm sure that eventually they will come. They are very concerned, of course, about the same concerns that we have. It's not only Gaza, it's also the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. So we need to bring together every party, every region, and I really celebrate this initiative from President Trump.
Prior to this big meet, Davos witnessed protests, wherein protesters marched against the launch of the World Economic Forum and called for the end of capitalism.
Kind of capitalistic right-wing class is taking the power over everybody else, so it's very dangerous. We have to stand up. We really have to stand together, because I think if there is enough people understanding what is happening, we have the power, and it's important just to be around. Yeah.
And some protesters also came in solidarity with Greenland, following Trump's threats to acquire the country.
Maybe we have a voice here instead of the Greenland people, which cannot be here now. So that's also something we want to take over and give them a voice.
Managing Director of the World Economic Forum, Mirek Dusek, felt differently, as he stressed upon the importance of such a meet amid changing geopolitics.
It's really going to be a discussion at a very important moment. As you said, geopolitics is changing. Some people think we're in a transition, some people think we've already entered a new era, but I think it's undeniable that you are seeing a more competitive, more contested landscape.
With peace deals in the making and an imminent world power restructuring in the works, the Spirit of Dialogue-themed World Economic Forum now faces the challenge to translate dialogue to action that truly does improve the state of the world.
An ancient cremation ground, a place where fire has burnt for centuries, and now a storm of outrage. This week, Manikarnika Ghat in Varanasi, one of Hinduism's most sacred sites, found itself at the center of a fierce controversy. Viral images and videos flooded social media claiming temples and sacred structures were being demolished at the Ghat. The visuals sparked instant anger. Allegations of sacrilege spread rapidly and emotions ran high. But authorities would later say several of these images were misleading, some even allegedly AI generated. With 8 FIRs registered for spreading false content, the controversy has now grown beyond faith into a battle over truth, technology and trust. So what really happened at Manikarnika? Why did these visuals hit such a raw nerve? And where does redevelopment end and belief really begin? Here's a long-form story on the Manikarnika truth.
This week, the ancient Manikarnika Ghat of Varanasi was at the center of the storm. Viral images and videos began circulating online, showing bulldozers allegedly demolishing temples and sacred structures at the Manikarnika Ghat. The visuals were shocking. Within hours, they spread across social media platforms like wildfire. Public anger followed instantly. Accusations of sacrilege erupted. But authorities would later claim several of these visuals were misleading and some allegedly AI generated. As the outrage intensified, the police stepped in. 8 FIRs were registered against individuals and social media accounts accused of spreading false and manipulated content. The charge, deliberately provoking religious sentiments.
देखिए, सोशल मीडिया पर कुछ लोगों ने इस तरह के फोटोग्राफ्स डाले थे जिसमें बनारस में कुछ मंदिरों को खंडित होना, उनको मलबे से ढका हुए तस्वीरें यहाँ पर सोशल मीडिया पर डाली गई थी और उसको मणिकर्णिका घाट पर जो सुंदरीकरण का कार्य चल रहा है उससे जोड़ा गया था कि उस सुंदरीकरण के दौरान इन मंदिरों को तोड़ दिया गया। इसको लेकर के एफआईआर दर्ज हुई। उस एफआईआर के इन्वेस्टिगेशन के क्रम में आज यहाँ का स्थलीय निरीक्षण किया गया है और स्थलीय निरीक्षण में ये पाया गया है कि ये मंदिर पूरी तरह से सुरक्षित हैं और जो तस्वीर सोशल मीडिया पर डाली गई थी वो एआई जनरेटेड थी, लोगों को भ्रमित करने के लिए थी। अब पुलिस इन सारी एविडेंस को कलेक्ट करके आगे की कार्रवाई करेगी। जो अलग अलग लोगों ने एक ही दिन एक ही टाइप के ट्वीट्स किए हैं, हाँ। एक ही टाइप के फोटोग्राफ्स भी जो एआई जेन्युइन नहीं है, एआई जनरेटेड हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं से ये लोग आपस में जुड़े हुए प्रतीत होते हैं और कोई षड्यंत्र की इसमें संभावना नज़र आ रही है। पुलिस इस षड्यंत्र पर भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है और इसमें धाराएं जो हैं षड्यंत्र की जब साबित हो जाएंगी पूरी तरह से तब बढ़ाई जाएंगी और आगे की कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
सर, 8 लोगों के ऊपर एफआईआर की गई है, किस तरह से सख्त एक्शन लिया जाएगा? आज सुनने में आ रहा है कि आपने वारंट भी इशू करा दिया है।
72 घंटे का समय दिया गया है। 72 घंटे के अंदर जिन लोगों पर एफआईआर दर्ज है वो अपना अभिकथन थाने पर आकर के नोट कराएं, अपना स्टेटमेंट नोट कराएं। अगर नहीं नोट कराएंगे तो कोर्ट से एनबीडब्ल्यू जारी करके इनकी गिरफ्तारी की जाएगी।
The reason those visuals hit so hard was because the location was not ordinary. Manikarnika Ghat is not just a riverfront. It is Hinduism's most sacred cremation ground. This is a place believed to grant moksha. Hindus visit Manikarnika Ghat with the hope to liberate themselves from the cycle of rebirth. For centuries, fire has burnt here uninterrupted. Every platform, every step, every corner carries spiritual meaning. So when visuals showed bulldozers near funeral pyres, the emotional impact was immediate. Even the idea felt unbearable.
वाराणसी दाल मंडी में लगातार ध्वस्तीकरण की कार्रवाई जारी है। आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से यहाँ पर दाल मंडी में ये जो पहला मकान है, कुछ दिन पहले यहाँ पर प्रशासन का बुलडोजर भी चला था और हथौड़ा भी चला था और बुलडोजर हथौड़े के बाद आप देख सकते हैं कि अब बैरिकेडिंग लगा करके पूरी तरह से दाल मंडी के इस रास्ते को रोक करके बैरिकेडिंग लगा करके यहाँ देखिए पूरा यहाँ रोक दिया है और ये जो मकान है यहाँ पर अब ड्रिल मशीन चल रही है, यानी कि बुलडोजर भी चल चुका है, हथौड़ा भी चल चुका है, अब ड्रिल मशीन से यहाँ पर ध्वस्तीकरण की कार्रवाई जारी है। तो आप देख सकते हैं, हालांकि अंदर जो दाल मंडी है वो पूरी अभी ओपन है, दाल मंडी अभी खुली हुई है। दाल मंडी के बीच बीच में चाहे वह चौक साइड का मामला हो चाहे दाल मंडी के तरफ से एंट्री हो, दोनों तरफ हथौड़े चल रहे हैं, ड्रिल मशीन चल रही है और चौक साइड में तो बुलडोजर भी खड़ा हुआ है, जगह मिलने पर बुलडोजर भी चलेगा। बीच बीच में भी जिन मकानों को वाराणसी विकास प्राधिकरण ने, नगर निगम ने चिन्हित किया है, अवैध घोषित किया है या उनकी रजिस्ट्रियां हो चुकी हैं, वहां पर भी लगातार हथौड़ा चल रहा है, वहां पर भी ध्वस्तीकरण का कार्य चल रहा है। फरवरी मार्च तक, लगभग मार्च तक पूरा यह जो दाल मंडी का ये जो पूरा गलियारा है इसको खाली करना है। खाली करके देंगे तब इस पर एक बड़ी सड़क बनेगी जो 2 लेन की सड़क होगी जो सीधा काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर की ओर जाएगी और इसी सड़क से लाखों की संख्या में जो श्रद्धालु बनारस आ रहे हैं वो काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर तक पहुंचेंगे।
At the time the visuals went viral, redevelopment work was underway at Manikarnika Ghat. The Manikarnika Tirtha redevelopment project aims to modernize and expand cremation facilities while preserving the ghat's spiritual significance. The initial phase covers around 3,000 square meters. The full plan envisions a 39,350 square meter platform, making it the largest dedicated cremation facility at the ghat. Once completed in 4 phases, the site will allow 19 cremations to take place simultaneously. It also includes improved sanitation, seating areas for mourners, and better public utilities. In 2023, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for the redevelopment project. The redevelopment is being funded by the Sri Kashi Vishwanath Temple Trust. Project officials maintain that the finished site will blend modern facilities with the traditional and spiritual character of Manikarnika. But intentions alone could not prevent outrage. For devotees and priests, the argument went beyond technical explanations. Because in a space like Manikarnika, sanctity is not defined by paperwork, it is defined by belief. The presence of heavy machinery itself felt like violation. For many, bulldozers symbolized state power, entering a space where only rituals should exist. The controversy soon became political. Opposition leaders accused the government of attacking Hindu traditions in the name of development. They alleged damage to centuries-old sanctity. The government hit back.
काशी विश्वनाथ धाम में लोक माता अहिल्याबाई होलकर की और आदि जगतगुरु आदि शंकराचार्य जी की प्रतिमा काशी विश्वनाथ धाम में भी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पहले से स्थापित की है। मित्रों, कांग्रेस के द्वारा जो दुष्प्रचार किया जा रहा है वह यही वीडियो बना करके जो अपने आप में एक अपराध है, गुमराह करने का प्रयास हो रहा है। सनातन धर्मावलंबियों की धार्मिक भावनाओं के साथ खिलवाड़ हो रहा है। इनके द्वारा यही जनरेटेड वीडियो बना करके मंदिर को तोड़ने का दुष्प्रचार फैलाया जा रहा है, जबकि हर व्यक्ति जानता है कि मणिकर्णिका में जो मंदिर हैं वे वहां पर वैसे मौजूद हैं, वे सभी इस प्रोजेक्ट के संरक्षण के पार्ट बनेंगे, क्योंकि घाट इसके बाद बनने हैं, इसलिए वे सभी मंदिर इससे संरक्षित होंगे। लेकिन इनके द्वारा लगातार जन भावनाओं के साथ खिलवाड़ करने के प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं और उन्होंने तमाम प्रकार से दुष्प्रचार करके इस प्रोजेक्ट को उनके द्वारा हर प्रकार से बदनाम और अपमानित करने का काम भी यहां पर किया जा रहा है।
The battle lines hardened. Faith versus governance. Emotion versus administration. The debate deepened with references to Ahilyabai Holkar, the queen who rebuilt Manikarnika Ghat in the 18th century. Claims surfaced that structures linked to her legacy were harmed. Later, the Holkar Trust clarified that the idol was not damaged and rituals had resumed at a new location.
और मैं आपको उस मंदिर का हाल आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं और आप देखिए यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि ये नंदी है जो आपने देखा होगा उस विजुअल में, उस फोटोग्राफ में जिसको प्रसारित किया जा रहा है। यहाँ पे ये नंदी आज भी नंदी यहाँ पर है। आज इनकी सुबह पूजा हुई है, माला चढ़ा है यहाँ पर भगवान नंदी के ऊपर। और मैं कहूँगा अपने सहयोगी से दिखाने के लिए कि आप यहाँ पर देखिए कि मुख्य द्वार पर यहाँ पे देखिए गणेश भगवान आप देख सकते हैं ना कि गणेश भगवान जो कि भगवा कलर में यहाँ पर विद्यमान है, यह भी फोटो में बीच में पूरी तरह से दिखाया जा रहा है। साथ ही आप देखिए यहाँ पर शिवलिंग अब आप देखिए यहाँ पर शिवलिंग की अगर हम बात करें तो यहाँ पर भगवान भोलेनाथ यहाँ पर विद्यमान है। अर्घा मैं दिखा रहा हूँ आपको, और ये देखिए कि किस तरह से यहाँ पर भगवान भोलेनाथ आप देख सकते हैं। ये देखिए, आप देखिए लाइव तस्वीरें देखिए वाराणसी गंगा घाट से, काशी विश्वनाथ के घाट से, मणिकर्णिका घाट से 200 मीटर की दूरी पर मैं हूँ और यह मंदिर भी विद्यमान है। बहुत ही पुरानी शैली में बनी है मंदिर, बहुत ही कलात्मक ये मंदिर है, बहुत ही अच्छी नक्काशी इसमें की गई है। और यहाँ पर मंदिर तो है ही, यहाँ तमाम जो भक्त हैं वह भी लगातार आ रहे हैं। तो जिस तरह से पूरे इस मणिकर्णिका घाट को जो सौंदर्यीकरण किया जा रहा है, जो उसका पुनर्निर्माण हो रहा है, जो श्रद्धालु और जो लोग दुखी लोग, जो पूरे देश भर से दुखी लोग आते हैं, जिनके परिजन नहीं होते हैं, जिनके परिजनों का अंतिम संस्कार होता है, उनके साथ कम से कम 5 से 10 लोग आते ही हैं, मैक्सिमम 100-200 लोग आते हैं। उनके बैठने की व्यवस्था, पूजा की सामग्री, उनके अंतिम संस्कार की जो सामग्री है, लकड़ियां हैं, वेटिंग रूम है।
Protests followed, local voices rose. Supporters questioned whether dissent was being criminalized. Authorities said law and order had to be maintained. The tension only deepened. With pressure mounting, the Varanasi Municipal Corporation ordered a probe. The question is whether negligence occurred during the demolition of certain platforms, whether protocols were followed. The inquiry is ongoing. Here is what verified facts establish. No officially recognized temple demolition has been confirmed. Idols and artifacts have been preserved for reinstallation. Several viral visuals were misleading or manipulated. Meanwhile, at Manikarnika, the flames still burn. Cremations continue. Rituals remain unbroken. But the episode leaves behind a warning that in places where belief is older than the state itself, truth must arrive before technology distorts it. Because once faith is shaken, no redevelopment can rebuild it.
With the onset of spring, Basant Panchami intersected with Friday namaz, placing the century-old Bhoshala and Kev Mola complex in Dhar once again at the crossroads of history and faith. Here, a temple and a mosque share walls and centuries of devotion exist alongside long-standing disputes. As the Supreme Court's order allowed a simultaneous puja as well as namaz amid barricades and vigilant security, both Hindu and Muslim communities marked their prayers and celebrations together. Yet the complex's contested past, from Khilji era alterations to colonial era records, stands as a testament to how deeply heritage and belief can intertwine, often in ways not easily untangled.
After a decade, Basant Panchami and Friday prayers fell on the same day. Putting this disputed Bhoshala complex in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar under scanner again. The rare convergence turned the spring festival into a tense and telling moment. One shaped as much by faith as by long-standing dispute. The court on Thursday issued directions allowing simultaneous Basant Panchami puja and namaz at the ASI-protected Bhoshala temple Kamal Maula Mosque complex in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar district.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो आदेश दिया है उसके बाद धार के जो कलेक्टर हैं उन्होंने भी स्थिति स्पष्ट कर दी। उनका कहना है कि जो ऑर्डर अपलोड हो जाएगा उसे पढ़ने के बाद ही बहुत स्पष्ट वो कह पाएंगे। उन्होंने मीडिया से भी अपील की है कि वो किसी भी तरह का कयास न लगाए। लेकिन मैं आपको बता दूं, जैसा कि राम